Hello, everybody. It's me. It's Andy, Decade Andy here. Pre-Moon Poopin' 2. And we got Big D with us this week again. Hey, Big D.
Oh.
How's it going, Big D?
Yeah, it's all right, dude.
Hey, nice. Are you prepared to talk them Transformers this day?
I shall do my best.
Excellent. Now, again, there's not a huge amount of Transformers news because it is that time of year where everything slows down. It's Crimblemas time. You know it is. But I was happy that we did get a surprise bit of news, which was the Wheeljack, which we'll obviously get into when the podcast gets pooped up. And we have the tidal wave, which we knew was coming as well. I see Orange in chat. Hey, Orange. Orange says hello. How's it going, Orange? Are you doing well? We'll be able to ask you and get your opinion on Transformers showings for this week as well. Do you have new stuff to talk about? Big D's, things that you got in the post?
Well, I had that rather funky Legends class Armada Starscream come through last week.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
I still haven't got taken him out of the box yet. Annoyingly.
Do it now.
Sadly.
Do it now.
I opened up the instructions and I looked and went, "Oh my god, that's complex."
Do it now.
He's tiny.
Is he in robot mode at the moment or in vehicle mode?
He comes in jet mode.
I was hoping if he was in robot mode, you could just have him and fiddle around with him in robot mode, just as we're doing the show.
To be fair, the packaging for him is quite nice.
It's third party. The third party packaging is always nice.
Yeah, it's all sleek and black and very sexy.
All right. Well, let's not get too much into it because we got to save that for the show. Did you get the Thesaurus?
Thesaurus?
Yeah.
I did. I haven't had him yet. Mine will be coming in. Sadly, I'm one of the European backers, so we'll be getting him in. I think they said March, April time.
Okay. I forgot because a lot of people have been getting theirs. Orange says they've got theirs, so that's good. Do you like it, Orange? That's cool. Is Thesaurus fun?
Yeah, but I mean, there's a few people I'm friends with in the States online who have had theirs and they're loving it, and that's great.
Bastards.
But I'm not really worried about the delay, to be fair.
It'll come when it comes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives me more time to make space.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. That's the difficulty, isn't it? It's always the hard part. Where's he gonna go?
Yeah. And I think I posted in your Discord that I've been on a bit of a Gundam kick again. So
you have.
I built me the real grade Gundam Epion from Gundam Wing, which is awfully nice.
All right. Well, I think we'll save that then for the show. We may as well start now, and then we can get to deep diving talking about Epion and the other bits as well. Well, not the Legend Starscream because you've just got it. You haven't touched it yet.
I can give you a picture of the box.
Yeah, I've seen the picture of the box. All right, I'll play some music, and we'll get to it. All right, music time, boys.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. It's me, Andy, Decade Andy. We are here this week on the 10th of December. We are coming up quickly to Crimblemas time. Are you prepared? I hope you are. I got my tree and all the decorations up in my living room this week, which is it's usually a bit of a joyless task to do, to be honest. But I do it anyway because it is the Christmas spirit and all that jazz. Joining me this week, we got Big D to come in with the big reveals. Hey, Big D.
Hi, guys.
Are you doing well this week?
I'm doing okay, all things considered. You doing okay, man?
Yeah, same as usual. Are you prepared for Christmas time, mistletoe, and or wine?
Well, I got my niece and nephew's Christmas presents, if that counts, but that's about as far as I've gotten.
How much more do you have left to do? Is there a lot?
Everyone else.
Is that a lot? A little?
Parents, sister, her husband, grandfather.
Okay, yeah, there's still quite a lot. There's still quite a lot to do.
Yeah, but it's fine. There's a whole weekend before Christmas, so when I get paid, I can do that on.
Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, I usually leave mine till late because my granddad wants he always says he doesn't want anything, so it's just like, well, I'll get him nice kind of consumable foods. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. I've tried for so many years to be like, what would you like? It's like nothing. It's like, you want something? It's like, nope. It's like, okay. So I get him like nice consumable foods, like nice cheeses, nice brandy, stuff like that, stuff that he will eat and enjoy.
Well, that works. I mean, that's the important thing. If it's stuff that he likes and he enjoys, that's the
Yeah,
important.
yeah. It'd be nice to get him like proper presents, but like I say, he's never revealed to me what he actually wants, which is what happens sometimes. That's the way of things. Sometimes I hear that sometimes when you get old, I don't think it'll be with our generation, Big D. I have a feeling with our generation, when we're like 90, if we get to live that long, it'll be, what do you want for Christmas? New Optimus Prime toys, baby. Fuck yeah, let's go.
Oh yeah.
I want the PlayStation 9. I want that for Christmas. I think our generation will.
By the time we're involved, they'll be on like a PlayStation 20 or something stupid.
No, it won't. It's the console releases are pretty slow. Think about it.
Are you thinking will be at the literally a generational console?
Just think about how old we are. Like, I'm 36, and we're only on PlayStation 5. And
yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm 43.
PlayStation started.
Well, bear on, PlayStation 1 was
90s?
What, 97, I think? 97?
Yeah, late 90s. So 97
PlayStation 2 was 2001, I want to say. Because I remember my housemate got one of those. So we've had 4 PlayStations in 22 years? Well, less than 20, because it was, PlayStation 5 was what, 2019, 2020?
I can't remember. I think the main reason is like the third generation, like the 360 PS3 era, was so long-lived.
Yeah, that was a weird era.
It was. I hear that there's meant to be the discussion of PlayStation 6, but I don't know if that's ever coming. Because there's, like, I don't know about you, but do you remember how long it took a lot of people to get the PlayStation 5? It took them so long. So long.
Well, the thing is, I pieced out of consoles at the end of the PS2 original Xbox era.
Wow.
And I still have GameCube, Xbox, and PS2 under my TV. Mainly because I was always more of a PC gamer.
Okay.
And and the expense of either of the 360 or the PS3 at the time just wasn't in my budget. So I didn't see the point. So I thought I'd just focus on the PC instead. And honestly, as consoles have gone on, they've just become kind of hyper-optimized PCs.
Well, for me, it's less about what they are as a functional machine and what games they have. And over the years, like
true.
PlayStation 2 and Xbox 360, those eras had a lot of exclusives that you had to have the multiple consoles. We're kind of now in that era where there are very, very few console exclusives because it's just not viable for companies to make console exclusives.
I'll be honest, I've been amazed at how many Sony and Xbox exclusive have come to PC in the last few years.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they are coming. It just takes ages for them to actually, come over.
But the thing is, because they're all fundamentally PC hardware, there's no real barrier to putting something on the different consoles anymore.
No, the thing that just keeps them exclusive is to sell the machine, and once the machine's no longer viable, it's just like, oh yeah, we'll put it on PC now.
Yeah, but even put it on a different console, which we're starting to see with Microsoft's acquisition of Activision. The whole COD situation where they're basically saying, yeah, we'll still do COD on PlayStation. We'll either sign an agreement that we'll keep it multi-platform. Yeah,
but here's the thing. The new COD game is apparently a pile of shit, which isn't shocking.
Yes.
Because they've been going downhill for a while. It's Activision. Activision's always been shit. And now they've got bought by Microsoft. I don't think it's going to get fixed anytime soon. When I say exclusives, I mean stuff like the PlayStation stuff, like God of War, Ratchet and Clank. They're only just kind of coming over to PC now, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And granted, some of those games I just don't want to play. I don't want to play the new Spider-Man. The story's crap for it. New God of War, maybe. I enjoyed the first God of War. Ragnarok is good, but the problem with it is, it's like, I know the story. I've seen it. It's going to be a long time.
That's my thing. I've watched a few people play a lot of the big console games recently. For the last few years. And part of me thinks, well, do I really want to play these now?
That's the thing. I am playing Ratchet and Clank at the moment, Rift Apart, and that's very good.
Very good.
It's very good so far. Like Ratchet looks very, very fluffy, very fluffy. And I remember
Touchably
PlayStation. Oh yeah, definitely touchably fluffy. Like this is like I come from the first Ratchet and Clank game where they were, he was smooth because he couldn't be furry, and now I'm just like, it's 2023. It's just pet him. Ooh, he's so fluffy, a little boy. I would recommend getting it if you can. It's the animations for it are great. It's really fun so far. I haven't finished it. Only had one streaming session of it, but it's been fun, been enjoyable.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I want to play Horizon Zero Dawn, but I'm not sure if my computer is actually up to it.
I hear the first one's good, but the second one kind of gets a bit crappy and preachy, which I wouldn't be surprised at.
Yeah, I mean, I dig the aesthetic, if nothing else. So, I mean, the first one is like a tenner on PC at the moment from most websites, which is just absurd for that much game, because it's the full thing. But then my computer can't even run GTA 5. It goes, nah, stop it, don't even try.
I don't. I mean, that's a bummer, but I haven't cared. Like, I haven't cared about GTA games since Vice City. That was the only GTA game I bought and enjoyed. Because it made me feel like Scarface. It made me feel like Scarface, and every other one is just kind of miserable modern stuff, while Vice City was set in the 80s. And it was
San Andreas, I did enjoy. That's probably the last one I got deep into. Because that had just the scope of that, and
I just wasn't into the gang culture. I prefer the gangsters, again, the kind of coke running stuff of the 80s, which has a bit more flair and pop to it, rather than, again, the more real worldy kind of crime.
San Andreas starts out very real world, but by the time you get to the last act, you're basically playing Ocean's 11.
I don't.
Because
like
literally, seriously, the Las Vegas act has you. It's all about organizing a heist. So you have to do one thing where you have to steal police motorbikes. You have to. It's bonkers. By the time you get to the end, you take part in the heist. You break into the casino, and it ends with you parasailing off the top of the casino. And not a lie, it's a real big budget epic moment. And it's just like, wow, that's actually really cool.
They've just
it went because it escalated from that very neighborhood gang scenario at the start. And it progresses really nicely to San Andreas.
Yeah, the GTA games have just not been. They've just not been my style. No,
that's fair. Game. I mean, I played 4.
I admit they're good. Like they look generally well made. That's what I could say. That's nice enough about them.
Yeah.
Axel Hedge in chat says the fewer exclusives, the better. Look at how much better Kingdom Hearts and Persona are doing as multi-platforms.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I'll have to take your word on Kingdom Hearts. I dropped out of Kingdom Hearts when I got to the Tarzan world in the first game and thought, wow, this is convoluted. Then I watched an IGN kind of story summary.
And
I went, this is a nightmare of a story. Nightmare. Well, I mean,
I beat the first one, and I think I've done like the first third of the second.
Have you done the copious mobile games as well, and DS games? Because you need to do them if you want to understand the story as well.
No, I have not.
Fucking crazy. It's insane. Yeah. And not like in a fun way. Like in a... man, I have to do homework to understand Kingdom Hearts. It's like, Jesus Christ, come on now.
But then I still haven't finished Final Fantasy 12 either.
Which one's 12? Is 12 the one with Vaughn? Vaughn?
The one with the... it's one with the bunny sidekick.
Yeah.
Bunny lady. Yeah.
That's right. It was meant to be the swashbuckling Han Solo, and then they went and put in the pretty boy. I remember Mikey talking about that years ago.
Yeah.
I never finished that one. I got annoyed that if you don't do a very specific thing at the start, you won't get Vaughn's best weapon. Just like, are you fucking kidding me?
I'm trying to remember if I do, because I do have the guide for it, because
It's the only way you'd know. It's like you have to look in pots or something right at the start of the game, and if you don't look in those pots or something related to that, it goes, oh, well, too fucking bad. It's like, oh my God. Convoluted bullshit. I strayed away from Final Fantasy as well. The less fantastical it looked,
Hmm.
The more realistic they tried to make the series look, the less I was interested in it. And we're here today, and I just don't like Final Fantasy anymore.
Yeah, I mean, 10 was kind of like the peak for me.
I think I say like the art style and realism and whatnot, but for me, 8 was my favorite, but it's a bad story.
Yeah.
It is a terrible story.
8 story is a bit bonkers, I will admit.
They do time travel, and that's never a good idea.
It's true, but it does give you that great mid-scene bit where you get to take control of the dad and his buddies.
Oh, Laguna.
Some of their stuff is hilarious because he's got one of the best limit breaks in the entire game. Just goes full ham on people.
A lot of people didn't like the draw system. I kind of did. I enjoyed grinding out the draw stuff. I liked it. I get why people didn't like it, because to maximize it, you had to grind. You had to go to an enemy and spend 5 minutes basically just drawing magic from them to get 100 of it. That's annoying. I understand.
I
That's
had
not a fun concept.
I had hundreds of. I had almost every character maxed out on everything.
Same. But I understand why a lot of people didn't like that, because it does. And if you don't interact with that system fully, you are hampering your character's stats and whatnot for the game. So that is a big curtail for fun for a lot of people, which I get.
But equally, it's the system the game has. If you're not willing to learn it.
Oh no, it's not. People aren't willing to learn it. It's just if you don't, it's not. It's hard system to learn. It's a time waste, right? Because you're there and you are just drawing magic. That isn't fun. That's not a fun system.
I mean, I can't really comment because 8's the game that led to amongst my university group, because we would quite often at the house I shared with some friends would game it for weekends and most weeknights, to be honest. It did lead to my somewhat infamous cry of, I'm going to go dragon hunting, or I'm going to go Marlborough hunting, which had predictable results, as you can imagine.
Marlborough especially.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Bad breath.
But they had fun out of watching me get my ass kicked. So.
Well, that's okay. Yeah. But yeah, 8, terrible story. I enjoyed the system. A lot of people don't. 9, I didn't like the art style. It was too chibi for me. 10, I kind of enjoyed. The story was a bit up and down, I suppose.
Yeah.
A bit up and down, but fun for the most part. And then 12 is where I stopped. And I hate Rebirth. I hate Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I fucking hate it.
Can I admit something right now?
Sure.
I kind of love 10 too.
I never finished 10 too. I can't remember where I stopped, but I did stop with 10-2, but I enjoyed getting the costumes, but I can't remember why I stopped playing. I think maybe I just got bored with the story, but I liked the system of just like swapping costumes. It was quite fun.
Yeah. I mean, I managed to get the kind of like the perfect ending on it. So
there were multiple endings.
There's one ending to get the best ending. You've got to do some very particular things. And if you don't, you can just miss. You can still get a decent ending, but it's not the one where you bring Tidus back, which is kind of the whole point of it. But if you do, it's sweet, you know?
Okay.
But yeah, I always enjoyed that one.
Yeah. Exelhead says, right now I only want a decent gaming PC for Fallout 4 mods. All right. Really want to play it with My Little Pony mods, Fallout Equestria. I really like it better as a dark My Little Pony game. That's interesting. I'm not surprised there's that mod, different. But yeah.
Yeah.
Exelhead also says, to be fair, the Kingdom Hearts story is easy to follow by actually playing the games in order rather than being told the story. Is that much? What?
I don't think that works because
No.
I don't know what order you play them in anymore.
Well, I think you should be able to explain to somebody what the story is.
Yeah.
And someone should be able to sit there and go, oh, okay, I get it. I understand.
If I thought I got the story and then run up to... But then I started playing 2 and I was like, what the hell's happening here? And then I saw run up to 3... someone did a primer and I was just like, what the ever living happened here?
Yeah. If you can't explain your story to someone, I don't know, man. Especially a YouTube video. YouTube videos which are like primarily there to help explain stories for like Dark Souls and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And if they can't make it comprehensible and easy to understand because it's so convoluted, I don't know, man. I think that's pretty
if you
bad.
need charts to explain a story.
Yeah. You're like the dude from Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
It's like, makes sense. Look at all the lines. It's like, what? Madness.
Yeah.
Madness. But we're here to talk about Transformers this week, believe it or
we?
not. Yeah. Well, the few bits of news that we got. We're going to be starting off Big D with YOLO Park AMK Pro Series G1 Megatron Poiple version from that famous scene in the movie, I assume, and the upcoming reveals at the Singapore Comic-Con. Are you going to go to Singapore? The Comic-Con?
I'd like to. Sadly, no.
Oh, you've missed it. It was today. Well, it was the last day was today. So yeah, even I was hoping you would say yes because you've missed it. It is a translucent version of their previous YOLO Park figure. It is just translucent. They haven't done any of the like mesh high pink lines to try and emulate the transformation sequence. So it is just translucent, which I would say is a little lazy.
I think that's I can see the two sides. One hand, yeah, a bit lazy. On the other hand, I think it arguably looks less bit. The grid lines always look really busy.
I think it depends how much there are. I have seen ones where it's just like maybe on the shin or a leg or something like that. I wouldn't want it all over it. I think a good example was the Hasbro Direct, was it Hasbro
the
Direct?
Galvatron.
Yeah, the Galvatron, where there was just bits. They were here and there, and I think that was a good spread rather than it just being all over the figure. Like you say, it can be a bit busy otherwise if it is literally everywhere.
Yeah, but as this is a model kit as well, I can understand why they've not gone that extra step, because model kits, it's a different dynamics.
It is, definitely. I guess if you want to do that, you're going to have to do that yourself, for better and worse. What do you think of it, Big D? Do you like translucent Galvatron? You're in the model kit sphere at the moment. You're going to get YOLO Park to try out?
I don't know. I'm always wary of anything that's all translucent, just because it marks up so badly if you mess up anything. And even undergating, if the whole thing's translucent, there's no way to hide anything. I mean, it looks fine. I mean,
I don't know how they've done this because I don't see any gate marks on it at all. Granted, these are promotional images and whatnot, so
so they may have gone through and given it a real good tidy up and polished all the nub marks. I mean, excuse me, one of the things with a lot of the premium kits at the moment is to try and get as many parts undergated so the gates are actually underneath the part itself.
I really appreciate when they do that. The worst things to do is to get a gate and it's like a full centimeter long on a bit of plastic.
Yeah.
They're the worst. They're on some of the older kits, but man, when you see that, you're like, God fucking damn it. Why is it so big?
So I've said there's a lot of undergating going on, but also they've taken the time to really give it a good cleanup before they've built it. Because I mean, that's really key with some of these stuff. But I mean, it looks fine. I mean, there's a lot of seam lines, but that's the nature of how they designed the original kit, especially on the, which I'm not terribly chuffed with, to be honest, because
it's not the best place to put
premium.
It's not the best place to put these kind of things. You know what the problem is, Big D? You've been making Bandai kits for so long.
This is true.
Bandai are like one of the best, to be fair.
Yeah.
They've been doing it since the 70s, so you'd expect them to be good. And like Bandai have really kind of stepped up their game over the past 5 years, I'd say. They're really good.
I mean, even their
kits.
basic kits are just like...
They're great.
Oh my God.
Well, they're usually great. They're usually great unless it's like a more obscure character. Then sometimes can get a little bit lazy unless it's a premium figure.
Actually, you know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see Bandai being given a chance to take a run at a Transformers kit.
It's weird that they don't. Oh no, it's not. No, it's not weird because it's Takara Tomy in America world. Sorry, in Japan, isn't it? It'll be some kind of dumb licensing. So
more than likely,
yeah. Bandai have a lot of robots. Maybe they don't want to add another robot line to their series.
And equally, they've just started a whole new line of Macross kits. So
Oh, they definitely won't want Transformers then.
yeah, I mean, to be fair, they do have trouble just keeping their regular stuff in stock. So
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
God's
Yeah.
help them if they started. Could you imagine how rabid people would be for Bandai produced Transformers kits?
I don't know, because remember in Japan it's more of a kids thing than it is an adult collector thing for the most part. No,
I wasn't thinking of the Japanese fans.
Oh, you mean putting it in America? I don't know. I mean, how well have the Flame Toys? The Flame Toys have done reasonably well, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Flame Toy stuff issue is more, they tend to be on the more expensive side of things.
Yeah.
Whereas Bandai's whole thing is that if you look at their ranges, even the cheapest chips, entry grade and high grade stuff, which is normally
about £15, something like that.
Yeah, 10
you're getting it direct
quid
from America,
on
Japan.
average. Can be more for a better kit, but for most part, looking at 10 to 20 ballpark. And those are pretty much all Transformers Deluxe sized or Voyager sized. And they look fantastic. They pose beautifully. And the thing is, Bandai do generally, they've had issues since before COVID. They've been having issues keeping stuff in stock. I mean, was it for Death Scythe Hell? One of the most popular Gundam kits, full stop. I bought a copy here because my back order had been on back order for like nearly a year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think instead of picking up another license, Bandai just need to make more factories. If I was going to recommend anything to Bandai, just make more factories, which is easy, obviously.
It's also ironic because they are one of the few companies, they're like Games Workshop, they have the Gundam factory.
Yeah, yeah. You know, if I was Bandai, I would, and I had like infinite Bandai money, I would put one of these new factories in maybe like Fukushima to help the economy and help generate business. Because Fukushima is like a harbor town for the most part as well. Like it's on the coast, so you do that so you have easier access to like shipping and whatnot. It helps regenerate the area and helps people make them move back to Fukushima.
I was going to say, was that for a reactor meltdown?
It was, yeah. They've done a fantastic job over the 10 years, and it's now about as like for the most part, not at the actual site, but the actual living area. It's about as radioactive as anywhere else in the world.
That's fantastic.
There's still a lot to do. Like I was watching Abroad in Japan, and Chris Abroad went back there on his northern kind of northern adventures. So he's gone around the north at the moment. So again, he went to Fukushima, and they've done a really good job. It's just getting people to move back there is quite difficult because most people just move to Tokyo, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, you can understand the difficulty, but it's actually, to hear what you're saying, that's actually really heartwarming, the fact that they've been able to do that much and bring it back to habitability.
Yeah, I can't imagine how much topsoil they've had to get rid of and how long I mean, the process has been about 10 years of just like removing topsoil and all that stuff. It's the Japanese got crazy good work ethic. They get stuff done.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They get it done.
Yeah, they don't mess around.
No, it's big props. I mean, if you want, I can send you the video of it because it's just quite interesting in that aspect. Once we've done,
send me a link because I'll take a look at that because that does sound generally interesting.
Also, watching Abroad in Japan's just a good little YouTube channel. I like it; it's fun. XL Hedge says, when I roll up because I got to roll back up. Does Yellow Park not use sprue mold their kits because it looks clean? I can't remember if they do the sprues or not, to be honest. When Big D was mentioning sprues, it's like, are these the guys that don't use sprues? Like they come off the sprue? I can't remember. Excuse me, off the top of my head. You would. They have a better relationship considering Hasbro / Takara licenses and makes Sentai products. It's probably really dependent on the license. I don't know how licenses and businesses work, but it's probably more complex and annoying than we would imagine. Yeah, remember where plebs?
It's incredibly complex.
Oh god, yeah. It sounds like a real pain in the ass doing business.
Just watch any big screen anime movie and wait through 5 minutes of pre-movie credits.
Well,
for all the
I was going to
committee
say, if you want to get an idea of the process of how businesses and government work in Japan, just watch Shin Godzilla.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't say Shin Godzilla is a desperately fun movie, but it gives a pretty interesting, like, from a foreigner's perspective, as how slow the system is or can be in Japan. Just because of all the people that need to be talking, all the documents, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, oof, all right. But yeah, Purple Megatron, he be coming. I don't know if we have a price for him. Oh, he came and went because that was the yesterday thing. I guess if you want it now, it'll be secondary market kind of stuff. So good luck for eBay, I suppose.
Yeah,
Do you have anything else?
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
If you can get if it's your jam, crack on.
Yeah, it's limited, so that's fun, I suppose. Next up, we have kind of an interesting one. We saw really crappy images of this thing a few weeks back, something like that. This is the Transformers Year of the Dragon Crimson Flame. This is in celebration of, I assume, Chinese New Year. Is that right? Is it Year of the Dragon next year?
I believe so.
I mean, that would make sense, wouldn't it? This is the Last Night Deluxe Steelbane, which is kind of interesting.
I was wondering about that because I was just reading a review, one of Ben Yee's reviews of Steelbane, and now I've looked at this figure and I was like, wait, is that? It is.
Yeah, they say this is an extensive retool, which makes sense because I didn't recognize it. When I saw the robot mode from far away, I was like, that looks familiar, but it's not. Okay.
Yeah.
It comes with a display stand, blast effects, a new spear weapon, and it's just been revealed, or it was revealed at the Singapore Comic-Con. There's a QR code, but who really cares about that? I'll read you the little blurb of, the bullet points. So, Crimson Flame action figure celebrates the 24th... Oh, yeah, it is next year. 24th Lunar New Year. The Year of the Dragon, with the 5.5 inches, 14 centimeters tall Crimson Flame Transformers toy. Transforms from a dragon to a robot in 22 steps. Awesome accessories, a shield, the blast effects, you get 3 of them, apparently a spear, and the robot that can go back and forth. Unleash the Dragon Fire, which basically means attach the effects parts and it looks like he's breathing fire. Obviously, it comes with a stand, which I mentioned, and the new lunar themed packaging. The packaging is designed with artwork inspired for the new year, so nothing anyone really cares about. What do you think of this figure? Because from my perspective, it almost looks really cool. Almost.
Well, I mean, it's working within limitations of. I mean, I actually quite like Steelbane, the figure. I've got both versions that they did of him because they did
what were the both versions?
There was Steelbane and there was a light retool they did for this wave after.
Was it just a retool, or did they repaint it as well?
It was a slight repaint because it was a different character.
Oh, okay, all right.
Made out of it. But I do. I mean, the only real issue I have had with it was the feet on the back of the tail and neck of the beast mode, which this still has. But I mean, as an anniversary, the Chinese do get quite hyped about doing these special editions for the Lunar New Year.
Yeah.
And Year of the Dragon is a bit of a special one because it's the dragon. That's a very symbolic thing for them. And I do like it. Like I say, it's not perfect. I mean, the robot mode has some really nice retooling going on, making it look more like an ancient Chinese warrior. Very what's the game series where you battle legions of folks with big sticks
Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, very Dynasty Warriors in look. It's a really nice poppy orangey red they've used, which is nice as well. The new weapons is novel. You wouldn't expect that.
What is it? Is it meant to be like an old school gun? Like that's what firearms used to be like, but it's like the firearms that are attached to a pole arm as well.
Well, I think it's kind of a bit of a compromise. Yes, it is supposed to resemble those ancient firearms because they did resemble that, the early Chinese weapons especially. But it's also got a bit of a look of, those Chinese, Japanese maces from that period that were basically.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were big sticks with bits of metal just kind of plonked onto them for bonking.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a compromise between the two, so you can use it either way, which is nice.
I actually thought it looked a bit like a smaller, less barreled version of the Empire cannons, whatever the Empire cannons were called. What were they called?
Hellblaster volley gun.
Yeah, it's a Hellblaster volley gun,
Well,
but with a lot
have
less barrels.
You've seen the Caesar Sigmar stuff, right? The new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the gun line unit from there, the officer can take a gun with those 3 barrels. Very likely.
There you go.
That's how they've done the firearms for those warriors.
Yeah, neat.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an uncommon design in ancient firearms. So I say it's you can see it as a peg. You can hold it either as a gun or as a big bonking stick.
I wonder if you can unplug the stick part and make him just have it held as a quote-unquote gun, or whether he'd have to have the stick part attached to it as well. I imagine you could probably unpeg the gun portion, right?
Looking at it, I think you probably can do that.
Yeah, it would make sense, because otherwise you're going to have like this giant stick going like up his arm and then across his shoulder as well, which probably not for the best design-wise.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if... Because it looks like the bit... Yeah, because you can see on the flying stand, they've actually broken it down into the gun and the stick and attached it on either side of it for storage, which is cool. So you could probably use the effects part on the back end of the stick to make like a
gunfire effect. Yeah,
and have
that makes sense
separately. Which is, yeah. I mean, it's fine. It's a fun little anniversary collectible piece. Way more retooling than I would ever expected them to do, especially on past form. It's
a lot better than. Do you remember? Was it Year of the Rabbit? And it was the MP10 Optimus Prime, but it was just translucent whitish and then gold, and they did the sound wave like that as well. They were shit. This, like you say, this is a lot more intricate and interesting than those things. Those things were crap. This is an actual thing that people, more people I think would want. My issue with it myself is the kind of translucent yellow that's on the front of the dragon head. I wish that yellow was kind of gold was kind of transferred more over into the robot mode. But like you say, I understand why it's not, because it's a Hasbro product, and unfortunately they're not going to go all out for even a more, because this is going to be more of a premium figure to a point. Like, this isn't going to be like $24 or anything like that. And I definitely think there's molded detail on here which needed to be picked out and not just batch blobbed into orange. I think that's a bit of a shame. He really needs more color, even if it was just a bit more of the maroon, because they've got maroon on the shield, they've got maroon on the cock piece, they've got one stripe of maroon on each shoulder pad, and then they've got maroon kind of highlighting around the helmet. I think they needed a lot more of that. Oh, there's on his abs as well.
It's one of those figures that, and they've done it before. We've seen them do it so many times before. If it just had a light wash to pick out some of that detail, would probably do it the world of good.
It would help. I still think it needed another color. It needed another color on there, because the raised detail on the chest, you could have a wash on there and it would look better. But I think that because it's an ornate Chinese warrior, that needs to be picked out in a gold.
To bring it to that extra step, just give it. I can see that. I mean, they got gold on the weapon. If there was some of that on the armor as well.
I think
so it got on his belt buckle, but if that was on a cross, kind of like the trim,
I think
that could look quite nice.
Don't get me wrong, I understand there's a lot of trim here because it's on the legs, it's on the chest, it's on the shoulders. That's a lot of trim. That is rubric levels of trim.
Yeah,
but I think if you get this figure, it would really behoove you to pick out that detail. I think it would look a lot more interesting if you did, personally.
You know what? You kind of make me want to get one just to give that a go, mate.
I mean, you've got enough projects to finish, but if you want to add another one to the pile, I mean, why not, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to stop. I mean, I couldn't stop you even if I wanted to, you know?
Many have tried.
But like I say, I think the dragon's good, mainly because the dragon head has that translucent bits of orange, or quote unquote. Like, I think it's meant to emulate gold, but it's translucent orange. So I think it's a pretty nice looking dragon for the most part.
Yeah.
It is a very Chinese style dragon. I like
getting rid of those wings did a lot to improve that.
Yeah, I think maybe the only kind of meh thing about it is, like you say, the feet. The very obvious feet on the back of the dragon's neck are a bit weird, and the tail looks a bit strange as well. But again, that's
that was a feature of the original figure anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you need because of the way it transformed. I don't think there's much you could do to fix it. You'd need to make an entirely new figure, to be honest. But for what it is,
I'll tell you what else
fine.
is quite nice about this. Because you pointed out earlier on that previous years we've had decos of Masterpiece.
That's right.
Soundwave and Optimus Prime.
Yeah,
I think they did the Starscream one year.
Probably.
They've done pretty much almost every figure they've done for this in the past has been like leader class and above as a rule. The fact that this is just a deluxe class figure, they've dug one out from the archive that fits what they're going for.
Yeah.
They've given it a hell of a retool. But even as a deluxe, I mean, let's be honest, those previous ones have always shelf formed.
Yes.
Because nobody wanted to buy the damn things.
Yeah.
This, if it's priced as like a premium deluxe, like 30, 35 at most, like a Studio Series figure, say. I know what you're saying, but I can see this moving a lot easier than some of his other figures, and especially in the Chinese market as something for parents to buy their kids.
Yeah.
That's because no one's going to buy their kid a Masterpiece Transformer.
I think they would, but I think this is an easier sale just because, like you say, the price will be lower. It looks more interesting. It'll probably be more fun. Collectors-wise, from China, again, I think this is more interesting because it's not just kind of a lazy repaint. There has been effort put into this.
Obviously, if I have a chance to pick one of these up, I think I might do.
Oh, okay.
It's grown on me.
I will say I think the stand's a little lazy and crap. It's like 2 bits of plastic and that's it.
Yeah, but that's an easy fix.
It's not posable stand. Well, it's not really the point whether it's an easy fit, an easy fix. It's what it comes with, I think it's worth mentioning that it is just kind of lazy. We've seen a lot of companies over the years make stands. You could even
say
just
it's lazy, but I've just seen what they've basically done for the surface of the stand. It's supposed to be a Great Wall of China, the surface of a Great Wall.
The surface is fine. I don't mind the surface because they have detailed it. I mean, the actual armature. Yeah. The armature's lazy.
Yeah.
It's just a thing to lightly cup. You can't really pose the dragon in any kind of swooshing motion. You just kind of lie him down on this little hand, and that's it. I appreciate that the guns can store on it. That's kind of nice. Yeah. But apart from that, I look at it and go, wish there was a bit more to it.
But at least he does come with a stand.
He does. It's something, I suppose. Even if it don't do a lot. XL Hedge says it fits the theme more than Year of the Dragon / Dark of the Moon Optimus. Was it Year of the Dragon Optimus? Was that what it was?
Might have been Year of the Snake.
Maybe. I don't know what year it was.
Actually, I think it was Year of the Snake.
Yeah. Okay. Also, welcome, Duckman. Hope you had a good day. But yeah, that is. I don't really want to talk about the packaging. I don't give a shit about boxes. I know. I saw some people talk about like Tidalwave's box this week, and I was like, who fucking cares what his box looks like? I don't care. I don't care what a box looks like. That's going in the bin. When I get the figure, that's going straight in the bin, and it'll be the same for this if I got this. But it's neat. It's different.
Yeah.
So, this week there was the Cybertron Fest 2023. We got a Origins Wheeljack reveal and Tidalwave, Legacy Tidalwave, the biggest boy himself. We also got a look at all of the other figures. So, let's start off with talking about Wheeljack, who's a Voyager, I was shocked by.
Yeah.
I didn't read the label, so when I heard people say, it's a Voyager, I was like, you're lying, that's stupid. He looks like a deluxe, and then I actually read the thing and went, "Oh no, it is a Voyager."
Well, I mean, with the amount of stuff that's got to fold out on this guy, I can understand.
So it's Wheeljack is interesting because he was not. A lot of those Origin designs were not meant to transform, obviously. Yeah. So I give leeway to a lot of them. I think Wheeljack turning into his robot mode into a giant square. They've done a pretty decent job at it. They've even given him his stupid little spinny things, his word turbines.
I was quite surprised by that when I saw those. Just like, Oh, they get him the spinny things.
Yeah, don't worry, we're going to cover all of his accessories before anybody in chat mentions it. I do have a minor issue with the vehicle mode, and it is that the front of the car, let's just say car, front of the car mode is clearly just big blocks of his arms kind of folded up, and it's very obvious. Don't get me wrong, it's not a major issue. It's one of those things again where I go, he turns into a giant square, leeways must be given, but it is kind of. I mean, you see too, don't you? Yeah.
I mean, I've got a bigger concern with basically the fact that his vehicle mode cockpit and roof basically falls up very poorly on his back.
Yes. There is a bit of back double.
That may be just a mistransformation. I'm hoping that's just mistransformed. It'll be a bit tidier.
I don't know, because I don't know if there are images on here in this place, but the idea is you can open up his back and you can put the deluxe Bumblebee inside of it.
Yeah,
which is nice. Yeah. That's a very cool idea. I think that's great.
And admittedly, B and Jazz, they don't exactly have tidy backpacks either. They're Origins versions. So.
No, I don't know whether I'd prefer it if we could have taken that out of this robot mode and had it so his backpack was less obnoxious in some form or another. That might have helped. However, they transform it. I don't know. I wish he had wheels on the bottom so you could push him along. I know he floats. But I still wish. I wish all of them had some sort of wheels just to roll them.
It's weird thing. They used to do that, give them more wheels, and they haven't done in recent years. Which
it saves money, but it's a bit of a shame. I am mildly concerned about how much of his back is translucent as well.
Yes, that is a mild concern.
Yeah, his chest piece, like in robot mode, is all translucent, which isn't as much of a concern, but it is kind of another okay, a little bit worried.
Yeah, a little bit of a worry.
A little bit of a worry. But in total, how do you think he's done transforming from a giant cube to Wheeljack? Is this the best Wheeljack figure? Do you think it's better than the Earthrise one? Robot mode-wise, I mean.
Well, I mean, Earthrise is in front of me on my desk now, and I will admit I did buy an upgrade kit for him just to tighten up the legs and replace the spoiler. But even before that, I do think that might be the best Wheeljack we're like to get at this price point, the Earthrise version. Because I still have a fondness for the old Generations version. But he's shown his age. But that was a big moment for us to finally get a Wheeljack, you know?
Yeah.
And this isn't a bad take on the character. Like you say, it's a vehicle mode that was never supposed to transform into an actual figure, and they've not done a bad job, in all honesty. I mean, the blades being actually fixed to the forearms is that's a niggle, and the backpack, sure.
I think that's confusing why they were locked in place. Why weren't they just pegs and ports? I'd rather have two holes on the bottom of his forearms than them being stuck in there.
I'm guessing it's probably because of the angle they have to sit at. That's probably why.
I guess. Still an odd decision.
It's not a nice angle to try and put anything in.
No.
But, I'm looking forward to get it. I like how they've described the fact that he comes with the shield.
Yes, that's again. It's not here, but he does come with, like you say, a big blue black kind of translucent shield. That's fun.
Yeah. The fact that you can fit B in the back, that's cool.
Yes.
They didn't have to do any of that,
No.
They've tried to replicate, just like they did with B and with Jazz, they've tried to replicate as much as they can of what he did in that first scene. And you know what? Round of applause to them, because they could have made it as basic as possible, and they honestly haven't. There's a lot of complexity going on here. I mean, just look at his legs, how many panels there are on it. I mean, that gives me hives trying to think how those all fold out.
Yeah.
Not being funny. So, I'll be getting one of these because, one, I've got the other two. And also, Wheeljack might be one of my favourite characters of the franchise.
Okay.
I always dug the idea from just being this mad scientist who always manages to screw up despite being a genuine genius at what he does. He just has for worse luck.
Orange says, I do like Wheeljack. Nice aesthetics to him. Very Generations. I could see that. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I say, I think for me, the backpack is a bit of an issue. Hopefully, I think it's because it's a prototype. It looks like it's unfolding itself in the pictures. I'm hoping that will be a bit tighter for general release. Excel Hedge says, I still don't believe Origins B is going to fit inside of Wheeljack. I mean, they say it can. They've got like not real images of it, but they've got like fakey kind of images of it happening, and it's like, I'm sure it will. Hopefully, it will be like it won't be too tight. Hopefully, it will be a fairly smooth fitting in of B. You know, hopefully it's not like putting a baby. I'm hoping it's not like trying to put a baby back inside its mum. You know, that's not a desperately easy thing to do, but you can do it. I don't recommend it though. It's a mess. And Simon Tang says, big backpack. Very big backpack, I would say. Excel Hedge says, Prime Wheeljack is still the best Wheeljack. I like Prime Wheeljack. I know some people really fucking hate
that's fair.
Wheeljack.
That is a good version of design.
Pretty fun toy as well, generally speaking. Yeah. I like it.
I think I've got all 3 or 4 versions of that mod, actually, yeah.
So you got Standard Wheeljack, Slicer, and what's the other one? A Dead End?
Dead End and the Beast Hunters.
Oh, so you don't have all of them because you don't have Slicer.
Did I get Slicer?
I don't know, did you?
I think I got Slicer.
Okay, so you got all 4 versions then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot you had a Beast Hunters version because, you know, Beast Hunters, what a weird line.
Yeah, who remembers Beast? I seem to remember Beast Hunters. I have a box full of the Predacons from that.
The Predacons were good. Predacons were good because they were all new for the most part.
Yeah, so someone sold me a job lot of all the Predacons, and it was just like,
Yeah, why not, right? Orange says he folds up to fit. Yeah, you meant to be able to mistransform B's wings in vehicle mode. I think you meant to fold them in like you would do for transforming him into robot mode, and then he kind of goes in then. So he doesn't go fully smoothly, and you do have to. Yeah. You have to mistransform him a little bit to get him in there. But yeah, you know. I think generally I'm fairly excited. Well, I won't say I'm excited for this because I did miss Jazz, but I think it's neat. I think it's interesting again, as I've brought up many times over, that the Buzzworthy line, assuming he's going to be in the Buzzworthy line, now has 3 unique moles, 2 interesting Voyagers, and 1 interesting Voyager. Will this be the next reveal for Buzzworthy?
I was reading somewhere that Buzzworthy might actually have gone away as a brand.
It must do, because it had no fucking purpose.
Yeah, because this is listed as Legacy United Voyager Origin Wheeljack.
Oh, Jesus interesting. Man, it would be nice then if they re-released not Wheeljack, but Bumblebee, who I have, so I don't need to worry about, but for other people. And it'd be nice if they re-released Jazz. You know,
yes, it
under
would.
not the Buzzworthy line, because that was a stupid fucking line. It made no sense, as I've pointed out many, many, many times over.
Yeah, with things like Blue Streak.
Blue Streak. So stupid. But we also have, of course, Titan Class, the biggest boy, Tidalwave.
Yes.
In kind of, it's not the exact same colors as the Japanese version of the toy, which was in the cartoon color scheme. This seems like a more accurate version of the color scheme from the show. I wouldn't say completely accurate. I don't think it's 100%. I could be wrong. He does have all 3 of his boat modes and combines together. I will say the individual shots of the boats separate. I think the aircraft carrier that become his arms, I would have liked those to have been a little bit longer. They look a little bit short to me.
Yeah, it is a little on the dumpy side.
Yeah, but I understand why it's dumpy.
Oh, yes.
It's to keep the proportions right, but it does look a little short. I don't know how the main boat body, the double boat, maybe you call it, that looks really cool.
Catamaran.
And then the back boat, whatever that is, I don't know what you call that, but that's okay.
I think they called the back half an assault carrier. Okay. It's supposed to be like a beach landing craft.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah. The double hull is like a catamaran battleship.
Right.
And then you have the aircraft carrier.
I only know the aircraft carrier. I know aircraft carrier, double boat, and feet. Because that's what it's just feet.
Yeah.
So we have all three pieces. We didn't see if the feet boat has the seats. I don't think it looks like it might do, but I haven't seen any proper images of that. His nipple guns and groin guns have been upgraded. They're a lot bigger in terms of their turret size. He has the sculpted piece where his gimmick used to be for where the minicon went to move them up and down, but it doesn't do anything, obviously, anymore. He also has the sculpt for where his jet would go. His minicon jet would go in his shoulder or bicep for one of his arms, but I don't think he's getting his minicon. That wasn't shown. But it looks like the gimmick might still be there. Yeah.
Well, it's not like anyone's short of minicons nowadays.
Yeah, they are. Well, the only way you can get minicons is by buying the Hasbro Pulse exclusives.
Oh, sorry, I forget. I have bags full of the damn things just knocking around this
You
place.
mean original ones? Yeah, but people would probably want nice new ones like the Hasbro Pulse ones. Because the one for Hotshot, the Powerlinks Hotshot, was actually pretty good.
I heard Joel was quite a nice figure.
Yeah, and whatever the one that came with the 2-pack of Shattered Glass, Rodimus or Hot Rod and Wheeljack. Yeah, Shattered Glass Wheeljack.
Yeah, the spinning star one. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently that looked quite good as well. I don't hear any bad things about that either. They did also show us the base mode for Tidalwave.
Or his lying down mode at showing.
Yeah, stop it, guys! Come on.
I do wonder who at Hasbro has this obsession with base modes, because
it's not even like half-assed base modes.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. If a figure had a base mode originally, and you can budget for it and fit it in, fine. But stop trying to cram them in where there's no need for it.
Where there's clearly nothing, because this is the base mode. He's just like, this is as much as a base mode as some of the Scramble City combiners, right? When I say Scramble City, like this is Onslaught's G1 base mode. The only thing he's missing is a ramp between his legs. That's it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I mean, I'd argue it's worse than Legacy Menasau's base mode. And that wasn't anything to write home about.
Yeah, his was kind of a weird, crappy battle station. But at least he could like stand behind it and pretend to use it as a big gun emplacement. Fine. Yeah. This is a weird mess. Stop it. It doesn't work.
No.
Orange says
the combined ship mode is quite nice though.
Oh yeah, I mean that's great.
All three modes. That's awesome.
Like his actual modes, the things that you'd want Tidalwave for, not a base mode, look really solid. Don't have a really good picture of the combined mode. Orange says he's perfect, no exaggeration, the best figure I've seen in years, exactly what I've been wanting since 2009. At least it isn't compromising his sculpt at all. No, that's true. I would just say don't have it as a selling point. Don't pretend it's a selling point. Just be like, no. Show what people know it for, and that's those things.
That is a lovely head sculpt. That is wonderful.
Originally, I thought the head sculpt was too long, to be honest. But then the more I've looked at it, the more it looks okay to me. I thought it was like if someone Control-T'd and just kind of stretched it up a little bit too long. I think it's because the chin's so big. The chin beard thing, whatever that is.
I mean, I still get flashbacks from the shoot this bastard in the face in the old Transformers Armada video game.
Yeah, he was always a pain when he got too close because you couldn't aim up that high. That was an issue. The interesting thing is he does combine with Megatron, but not really. He doesn't really combine with Megatron. They did
he comes with spares.
Yeah, he comes with probably the smarter option, which is he comes with small versions of himself, which can apparently be stored inside of himself, which can then attach to Megatron. I think this is the best solution because a Titan class figure, like,
it would just be so out of scale. Otherwise, it wouldn't be funny. Well, it would be funny in the wrong way.
Me and Mikey, when this originally was announced, I couldn't fathom how it was meant to be done. I think this is the best compromise that you can have. I'm interested to see what these parts do outside of him.
I mean, there's a lot of hinges. Just in the shot with Megatron, you can see there's a lot of hinges going on. It's just like someone suggested, will these transform into a smaller version of Tidalwave? Maybe.
Well, might be
unlikely,
for
but
too much.
that could be funny if they did do that.
Maybe it's just like a small robot, kind of like Oh, crap! What was he called? Mainframe on the Ark.
Yeah.
Something like that. Maybe they could do something.
That was kind of
like
what
that.
I was thinking of, to be fair. But
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see. It'd be a fun idea at the very least. Excel Hedge says Tidalwave dethroned Primus as the worst base mode. Which one was Primus? Yeah. Yeah.
I think there might be some worse options out there. Although Primus,
what?
yes. All
Primus
right, yeah,
was
I'll
pretty
give you
bad.
that one. Yeah.
Orange says the time he contributes to his base mode. Oh, the tiny him contributes to his base mode. Is that actually true? Is that what it does? Oh no. I'd rather it turn into a small robot of some sort. Like just Wave. Just call him Wave.
Yeah.
Tidalwave combined
just
mode.
Wave.
And yeah, just Wave, the small one.
Oh, bollocks, if he does, yeah, I can see where they fold attached bits on and folded them out. Shit.
Oh, that's a shame.
Well, that's disappointing.
Yeah, because it still doesn't look very good.
I'd argue that they're helping, but not by much.
Not by a huge amount, no.
No.
But what do you think about the robot mode? How do you think it's turned out in totality?
I think that's a lovely robot mode. I mean, we've had some cracking Titans over the last few years. Scorponok, Black Zarek. I still have a fond spot for Tripticon. Last year's Cybertron Metroplex was a real surprise. The Ark and Nemesis flawed, but they're both doing interesting things with it. But this looks like the character, but fully articulated. And base mode aside, the 3 ships and the combined ship mode, the quotation mark Dark Fleet,
Oh, very
are
good.
spot on. I dig the whole thing. I'm really looking forward to seeing this when in the flesh.
Yeah, I think it looks good. I'm impressed that they, well, maybe not impressed, but I'm happy to see that they've given his hands multiple joints, so you can. I mean, he's not got multiple finger joints or anything crazy like that, but he can grip stuff seemingly and all that kind of jazz. Does he have a waist joint? I can't really tell if he does have a waist joint. Oh, Simon Tangs just literally asked that. Does he have a waist joint? I don't know.
I'm not sure.
The original one obviously didn't because of how it transformed, and there was a giant C clip there.
It looks like there's a spot for a waist joint.
Yeah.
Looking at the base mode, how
there could. It's hard to tell if there's a cut there. If there's a cut there, then yes. If there's no cut, I don't know. It would be a shame. It wouldn't be the worst thing ever if he didn't have a waist joint, but it would be a bit of a shame just again because of the scale and the amount of money you'd be spending on him. Maybe.
I'm just looking at some of the other pictures of the robot mode, and none of them are really twisted all at the waist. So I've got a feeling it's going to be a no on that score.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a shame.
But understandable. Yeah.
Here's a question for you, Andy.
All right.
How do you feel about a version of this in his Energon colors?
Well, here's the thing.
All that translucent plastic.
Here's the thing.
That size.
I tweeted this on the Moonbase 2 Twitter account because I said, okay, so if they do him as Energon, that's good. If it's all translucent, that's bad. That's bad because a lot of those joints, like his elbow joints, I think
those are some big joints.
Yeah, the elbow joints have to be translucent. The hands would have to be translucent. The purple bit on the head would have to be translucent. It would look great.
Honestly, I'm more thinking about the hilarity of seeing Few get hold of one and the light piping just dazzling him.
Yeah, I mean, it is 90% light piping because it's all translucent. Yeah. I'd really be interested to see it. Maybe they could do it because at that scale, it would be thicker. It would have to be thicker because it's a bigger toy. So maybe it would be okay. I saw someone digibash like just the green color. So there's almost the suggestion of it being painted, and it didn't look as good.
Yeah, that's the problem. The Energon colors really do. Part of what sold them is that translucent effect, giving it that real pop in bright light.
Yeah, definitely. So I don't know. I would be interested to see it. I think it's more likely they do the game variant first because it's a bit more boring.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
I mean,
it's kind of the
he's
obvious.
probably the only Titan that's got. He's probably got more potential for repaints than any other Titan since Scorponok, to be fair.
Generally, that's if they decide to do it.
Yes. Yeah. And Black Zarek wasn't exactly a big mover until it went to deep discount. So,
and even then I missed it because I didn't have the 70 quid at the time, typically. But yeah, like you say.
For the Omega Sentinel.
Yeah.
But,
one of those things, isn't it? Kaz says, yes, my favorite Wheeljack quote. It's time to jack it. To jack off. Everyone's favorite time to jack off. When's it not? That's a good question. Orange says the bottom turret thing is a flap. He says he probably does to something that we said, but I don't know exactly what. Oh, probably the waist joint. He probably does have a waist joint. I would assume no, just from the images we've seen, but you could be right.
I would like to be surprised and there be one.
Yes.
But my suspicion is there won't be, purely because of how much mass is in there.
And how the transformation on the original worked, and
yeah,
I would have thought.
But we shall see. We shall see.
I'm happy to be proven wrong because the more joints in it, the better.
Absolutely.
Excel Hedge says, to be fair, fans will find a way to do Tidal Wave's base mode better. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. Great. Now I'm imagining that tiny Energon Megatron next to Tidal Wave in Energon colors. Oh, that would be really cool, actually. Yeah, the Legends Megatron. Yeah.
That'd be tasty.
That'd be pretty fun. Yeah, I think Tidal Wave seems to be shipping up pretty well. Yeah. Interested again to see how it all works, and mildly concerned about the price because it'll be 150, 200.
Well, what was it? For Nemesis was 200 plus.
Oh god, that's right. Yeah, so this will be 210, wasn't it?
Yeah. And this looks a lot more well engineered than Nemesis did.
I like to believe that they wouldn't up the price on Titans more, because that would be getting into to even sillier money, I would say.
Well, given in the space of 4 years, we went from 100 to over 200.
Yeah.
Good luck with that idea, Andy.
Well, I think the idea is it hasn't been that long since Nemesis came out. I don't think they want to do a price rise. That's true. Soon since then. They might, but yeah,
we'll see.
Either way, I can't justify buying it at retail price. I'd need to wait for a sale.
Yeah,
and usually Nemesis only goes. I've only seen Nemesis go for like 200. I don't think I've seen it drop below 200 yet. Not often.
I think I did see her for like 150.
That's still a lot on sale, man.
It is still a lot. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Woof. Still, I'm glad we got to see it. Now, I guess we've seen everything now from this pocket of like Legacy, right? We don't know from the poster. Yeah. There's been nothing else. Wheeljack wasn't even on the poster, so that's technically new. So I guess we're gonna have to at some point have a Hasbro stream, and then we'll be able to see some new Transformers. I guess after that.
I mean, let's see. Magmatron's due for what? June time, April time next year.
Yeah, like summer.
Tidal Wave. Excuse me. Tidal Wave probably be looking at
autumn.
I'll probably say more like August time.
I'd say that's autumn. I understand, but I know it's technically not autumn. I class it as autumn.
Yeah.
I class winter as December, and apparently it's not.
I know that a lot of this part of Legacy doesn't release in Japan until March, April time.
When you say this part, which part do you mean?
The stuff we've had previewed in this kind of like wave, so Chase.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I saw they got pre-orders of this
the whole Legacy United wave of things, because they're only getting the most recent Evolution stuff at the end of December, start of January time.
Right.
So most of the United, they're getting around March, April. So from what I've been able to tell, Hasbro tended to do a preview around when Japan starts getting a particular wave.
Okay.
So we'll probably start to see stuff around then, I imagine.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll probably spoil as well before that, but
All right.
we've already seen people decoding what things mean for store exclusive lines and whatnot.
Oh, it happens.
Yeah.
Orange says, I still haven't seen Beachcomber or DevCon. BBTS haven't got them in either.
I did see Beachcomber at my local Smiths.
Did you?
Yeah.
I've got that wave in. What's in that wave?
Let me see. They had Beachcomber, Bombshell.
Oh, it's that wave. Oh,
Strong Arm.
Desert Hound, whatever he's called.
Didn't see him, but they had Fracture as well.
Oh.
It was a very weird, bitty bit of a wave. Oh, and they had Bludgeon.
Oh yeah. I'll be tempted by Bludgeon once he's on sale. I think not before then. And I want Detritus. I want Detritus on sale as well.
Yes, yeah.
Not paying full price for a hound figure, but I will pay £15 for one.
I think Smith's got a few of them on discounted price now. They tend to drop them fairly sharpish.
But how much though?
Quid. Let's find out.
The live reaction. How much of a discount? Yeah. If it's still £20, I'd be like, nah, I'd wait until it's 15.
Hang on.
They usually get to about 15.
The big problem with Smiths is working out if they have it available to order online, either in store or.
Smiths sometimes has sales, and then it's like, they're nowhere near you. They're halfway down the country or something, or up the country.
I mean, Legacy Armada Prime, 85 quid, but I know for a fact they don't have him in stock. Detritus still 35. But Repaint of Hound is 19.
Yeah, no, I'd keep waiting myself. I'd keep waiting.
Fracture's 19.
Yeah.
Shrapnel's a tenner.
Oh, that's all right. That's pretty solid.
Yeah. The rest of them are all still around their RRP price, unfortunately.
I'm guessing Shrapnel's not an easy one to find. He's probably out of stock everywhere.
Beachcomber, $17.99.
Yeah, that's fine.
Out of stock.
Of course. XL Hedge says, Entertainment Earth is killing me, making me wait for 86 Snarl. I'm supposed to get it in October. God, that's a bit of a wait. Have you tried contacting them, asking where he is? Because he should be out by now. I'm sure he is.
Blimey, 10 Beachcombers in Smiths in Salisbury.
That's a lot in Salisbury.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's like there's Beachcombers everywhere but Swindon, looking at this map. It's like, I'm looking at all the Smiths within 40 miles of where I live, and they all have him apart from where I bloody live.
Yeah, that's what you get for living in Swindon.
I know, right?
You're too close to London. That's the problem.
I've never heard that phrase as an argument before. You're in Swindon because you're too close to London.
Yep.
What?
That's why it's bad. You're too close to London. It's like a disease. Like London is a disease and it spreads out. So I'm nice and far from London. You're relatively close to it by comparison. The tendrils have got you, I'm afraid, Big D. So the last two stories for this week are special guests for TFCon, Los Langeles. We've got Neil Ross coming, and we've also got Frank Welker coming. Both of these boys are G1 voice actors. Neil Ross, Bone Crusher, Crosshairs, Point Blank, Six Shots, Slag, lots of other people as well. And Frank Welker
is just the voice of everything.
Megatron and every animal. Every animal.
Yeah.
So that's great. March 8th to the 10th next year.
That's cool.
Yeah. Big boy guest as well. If you want to see the original, well, not just the original Megatron, but the iconic Megatron, he's going to be there. That's very cool.
And the thing is Frank. I mean, Frank Welker, to see him show up at any of these cons is always a delight. One, because he's getting on quite a bit now.
Yes.
But also just because he's so beloved, because he has done so much.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's been in a lot of big projects outside of Transformers as well.
I mean, he's been voice acting since the 60s.
God, probably. Probably.
Like that?
Yeah, he's been around. Yeah. So, Big D, that's the Transformers news done for this week. So what have you been up to this week? What are you done for fun?
Well,
let's
see. I got some goodies in from the Black Friday sales. So I built some more Web Warriors for Marvel Crisis Protocol.
That's the board game, right?
That's the Marvel tabletop game.
Yeah, was it the Spider-Man team or something that you got?
Yeah. So I'm going all in on Spider-Man heroes. I was thinking of X-Men, but thought, nah, let's do webheads because you've got to build a squad of 10. I've worked out I can probably do that with the next few sets they're doing.
What's the second tin? Is it like Spider-Man, Miles, Gwen, Daredevil, and Venom, or is it a different
the core box is Venom, Miles, Gwen, and Peter.
Okay, I was trying to find an image. So I was desperately like, oh, there's an image of a painted one, just to throw on screen.
Sorry, I haven't painted any of these yet.
Oh, I'm shocked.
I know, right? What a surprise. Then this week I had in there was one of the online stores was doing like almost 50% off the duo packs.
Oh.
So I grabbed Black Cat and the Amazing Spider-Man and Agent Venom and Spider-Woman.
Oh, okay.
And they've got, I don't know when it's due out, but they're doing a pack that's Scarlet Spider in all his 90s ripped sweatshirt gloriness with Gwenum, Spider-Gwen in her Venom guise. So that'll be fun.
When's that meant to come out?
It's due out next year. Not sure when yet. But I've got some ideas for this team because, like Agent Venom, I'm going to do in his anti-Venom colors, so white on black as opposed to black on white.
Okay, I get you.
Just to add a bit of variety. But I'm actually looking forward to doing these because I've never really done superhero minis before.
It's weird looking at them, just because their bases are so flat in comparison to like your GW kind of bases.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Part of me thinks I should probably have gone and tried to make some real themed bases for them.
That'd be fun.
But because they all come with like these little diorama bits they're leaping off of anyway. But I think I'll just do them as they are and see how they come out. To be fair,
why not? Right?
Yeah. I had through the Legacy, the Legend Scale Armada Starscream we talked about last time. Sirius.
How does it come from? What company was it from?
That is from. What does it not say? There.
Yeah, you've got no idea, do you?
The box, it doesn't say.
It doesn't say.
Oh, but it's MSS-01 Sirius.
Okay.
Which looks very nice, but I'm currently kind of scared to open it because he looks very fragile and my hands are kind of at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, I've been on a Gundam kick. So I built the real grade Gundam Epion from Gundam Wing, which was a delightful build.
Good. Any scary parts or anything like that?
He's very spiky.
Oh, yeah.
I won't lie. In the build, I did have to dig out a spudger to pry a few bits apart because I messed up a few times with how I put stuff together. So I did have to take it apart and move some things around to get them the right way around. And like with the wings, the inner wings have to be done in a very particular way for how they articulate.
Is it automatic? Like you pull one part and they all kind of spread out, or do you have to move them each individually?
Yeah, effectively. So when you open up the wing, the inner wings kind of automatically fold out.
Yeah.
And they fold back in again. You just have to be a little careful when they're folding back in to make sure they've gone the right way.
Okay.
But it's not a major thing. I only used 2 labels on this.
Well, real grades don't have that many, to be fair. So
you say fine. That. One of the things with real grade is that they're trying to get across that these are real bits of kit. So they come with all sorts of.
No, they come across with decals. I don't class them as stickers because I class stickers as essential things that are missing. Decals are just like, do you want to add like hazard warning stripes or don't step here kind of things?
Yeah. Well, I only used 2. There was a shiny one that I put underneath the green sensor in his chest to heighten the glow effect. And there was one metallic one that went just above his crotch plate. But I didn't put any other stickers on. Everything else that you see, if you got any of the pictures I sent you, everything else that you see is molded plastic.
Yep, that's the usual standard for a real grade.
Which I think is astonishing, frankly.
I don't, because it's real grade and it's kind of established at this point.
I know, but I still find it kind of impressive when you can just put something together and you get all the layers. And I mean, there's 2 shades of black, 2 shades of red. the heat whip on his left arm that actually comes on the sprue
Yeah.
as actually molded together.
Yes.
You don't have. It
They
advises you
used
just
to, they used to do that with the
twist.
frame as well, but they've kind of moved away from that because it was actually pretty bad for like stability for the
Yes,
frame.
and with
But it seems like
with
with
the
this whip,
Epion,
it's fine.
yeah, I mean with the Epion, it'd be a little tricky to do that because of how it transforms. But
Well, no, I mean they got rid of it, like I say, because it was bad, and they just made you build the frame. So it was a lot. They started doing that, I think, around the Unicorn real grade that they made.
I've got
thankfully.
first one, the RX-78, which was
That was crap.
yeah, that's kind of bad. But I've got a few others I need to actually get to because I've got like the Tall Geese.
Tall Geese is good. That's a good
Yeah,
one.
the Gundam Mark II, the Impulse.
I can't remember when that was made. I don't like Seed anyway, so I can't say.
Well, no, it's perfect, Andy. And I've got Strike Freedom to do at some point as well.
I know you're not perfect, Big D, but you don't need to bring that up. Fuck, Seed's terrible. Oh, there's a messy. At least it's not Destiny. Destiny was fucking awful.
Yeah. You know there's a Seed movie coming out in the new year, don't you?
I do. Seed is incredibly popular.
I've pre-ordered every kit they've announced for that movie.
I'm sure the kits will be great.
I adore the Seed aesthetic. and I'm the guy who bought both the super duper Blu-ray box sets they did a couple of years back.
Wow. Yeah, I hate this. I hate the story in Seed. Like I say, Destiny's way more obnoxious and worse written, but
that's fair.
We can't fight.
I can understand the complaints.
Jesus Christ.
But no, the Epion's lovely.
Yeah, looks great.
I can heartily recommend it if anyone wants to pick one up. So,
the only issue I ever have with real grades is they only do like 2 a year, so you only get 2. And if you don't like either of those 2, you gotta wait till next year until getting them. It's kind of like master grades as well. They only do a few master grades per year, and if you don't like them, well, tough tits. The worst thing is when they redo the RX-78 again, or a Seed one, because the Seed ones are really popular and get remade again and again and again.
I was going to say, you're not going to like next year, where the first real grade of the new year is going to be a minor recolor of the Impulse.
I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. I mean, I'm not buying Gundam kits at the moment just because it's just not wise for me to buy them.
Yeah.
But
so,
yeah.
I probably shouldn't do, but
I mean, it's a fun way to spend some time.
Yeah,
they are good.
And
well, some of them they're better now than they used to be. When I first started getting into Gundam high grade kits, one of my friends picked up one of the first. You know when they rebranded the high grade line and they put them in the boxes and they had the gold rim around them. He decided to buy me because it was cheap. The first Zaku, which was Char's Zaku, and it was just HG01. It was awful.
Ooh.
It was awful. It was so fucking bad.
Yeah.
I can't remember when I started coming in, but it was I was shocked how bad it was in comparison to the stuff I was building at the same time.
Well, I went through a weird phase because I bought a load in like the late 2000s.
Oh, you mean when they first started coming over, when they were in like Woolworths? Because I got some of those.
I was still buying them from like HLJ and stuff. Because I mean, I actually bought the original 140, 1144 and 1100 wing kits, the Endless Waltz ones, from my local hobby shops. But I didn't get anything, and again, I didn't buy any Gundam kits again until like 2006, and then I picked up some of what were then the modernish high grades, Seed and stuff, and they were fine. And then I took another break. And then about 2012, 2013, I picked them up again. And the difference was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, big, huge.
Yeah. But just in the last few years, though, I mean, I've got all of the Witch and Mercury stuff to work through at some point. But those
kits good kits, though. Very good kits.
Yeah, the kits are astonishing.
Yeah. Oh, do you have the Witch of Mercury? What's it called? Schweinschveld, something like that. The white one with the black, and it's got the The translucent red katana, and it has the wings that can fold around it to make the big bonk sword.
Schwarset.
That's the one, yeah. The Schweizenheimer.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to doing that one.
Oh, you haven't built it yet? Okay.
Not yet. Let's see, my Witch Mercury backlog is probably going to be what I do in the next week or two.
Oh, jeez. That was one that I was really considering, like, do I go back to buying Gundam model kits? Because that was one of the ones I looked at and went, that looks really cool. It looked like a really decent kit.
The Witch Mercury kits are all really nice, just in how they're laid out. The way that they bought a whole load of different designers on board to make each company's aesthetic unique was just...
You can tell which guy was the Armored Core guy. You can tell. Yeah. there's a very obvious, like, that's just an Armored Core, which is fine. It's just funny. Oh, wow. Yeah.
But no, they're nice. I mean, if you get a chance, I would highly recommend dipping into the Witch of Mercury kits. I mean, they're everywhere. People have just gone gaga for them.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they did pretty well. Anything else?
Yeah.
Anything else you've been up to this week?
Not really. Next week, I'm looking forward to a few cinema trips. Godzilla -1's out.
Oh yeah. I my local cinema only has it on a few days and only at 8:30, and it's like, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get to see it if it's on at those times.
Yeah, Cineworld have got a special unlimited screening tomorrow night at 7:30, so I'm thinking of trying to get to that one.
It's because it's a foreign film, That's why it's only getting one screening, and it's like it's apparently meant to be a really good movie.
They've got more showings for the following weekend.
Do they? All right.
Yeah. It's just I might try and get to it early, and they're also doing the second part of the French big budget Three Musketeers duology.
Okay.
Milady, with Eva Green as Milady.
Did they tip the fedoras in the movie?
More than likely. I've got to watch the first part, to be honest. I've got it saved somewhere, so that'll be probably what I watch tomorrow morning.
All right. Okay. Very good.
Love me a bit of swashbuckling. So otherwise, it's working out what films we're going to show for watch along for the rest of the year, and try and write some materials up for people.
Oh, very good. That's it then.
Pretty much. You've been doing much, dude?
Pun. I've done a few things. I decided to watch Evil Dead Rise. Have you seen Evil Dead Rise?
I haven't. How is it?
It's okay. It's not bad. I think the problem with it is it's kind of locked into the issue that the Aliens and Terminator movies are. It's just a less good version of the original movie. It's the same concept. The only difference is it's in an apartment block. The effects and gore in it are really good. But I'd probably put it at one of my second least favorite Evil Deads. And my order would go Evil Dead 2, the remake in 2016, because I thought that was really fun.
Yeah.
Army of Darkness.
Yep.
Evil Dead Rise, and then the original one. The original one I put last, not because it's bad, but because it's a student project. It's very obviously a student project, and it's very old. Yeah. And that's why...
And the thing is, you're not putting that in an order of films that are bad.
No,
it's just how you're rating a sequence of movies that are all actually quite good, but they're all different. And hell, there's a reason Evil Dead 2 is just a remake of Evil Dead.
Yeah,
with a bigger budget.
It is the best version of the first movie. It just is. It does everything the first movie does, but better, and also more stuff as well. One thing about the new movie and the 2016 remake that the two didn't do is there's not a lot of the weird comedy. The comedy is not really there. It's played more straight horrors, which is fine. But... Yeah,
2016 was much more of straight. Yeah, this is getting tense now, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't.
That's not a bad thing.
No, I was just thinking I wasn't really tense or anything. I just thought it didn't have that humor or as much of it, which is fine, and it's kind of what they've decided to do with Rise as well. But I would recommend Rise. Rise has some really good practical effects in there, and it does look nice. But again,
I'll try to give that a watch.
At the end of the day, it is just, have you seen Evil Dead? Yeah, you've kind of seen this movie,
I mean, I'll be honest, I still need to watch Ash vs. Evil Dead.
The TV show is not too bad. It gets a little bit long in the tooth, and you'll sometimes be looking at your watch going, oh, come on. I don't think it needed to be 3 seasons. It's worth a watch, though. I'd still say it's fun. It's got Bruce Campbell, and he's a lot of fun in it. It's got more of the comedy that you would expect. Yeah. I would have liked Sam Raimi to do the entire show, but he didn't. He's only there for, I think, maybe the first few episodes, and then he kind of pieces out, which is a bit of a shame, to be honest. Yeah. I would have liked him there for the whole thing, because it's his baby. But he had other stuff to do. I've also watched the first episode of House of the Dragon. I hadn't seen it before. I watched the first episode. I was like, wow.
This is any good?
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a bit of subtlety to it and stuff. And I'm like, oh, it's not dog shit.
You mean unlike the last season of Game of Thrones?
Yeah, it's weird because Game of Thrones, I think, was good until season 3 where it peaked, and then it started going down. Not rapidly going down, but the quality and the writing were going down slightly, and then you got to the last season and it just plummeted. It just died.
The last season, the 2 guys in charge, they just wanted to get their Star Wars.
Which is funny because it did so badly, they have not yet done their Star Wars project. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, didn't they go off and make some weird parallel universe alt history show where the Confederacy won?
What is it?
I'm sure that's what they were working on after they got booted from Star Wars. They went off to do a alt history Confederacy winning the Civil War thing.
In the very political climate that we're in now, I think that sounds like an awful idea for a project.
Well, not being funny, these 2 weren't making the most rational choices either, let's be honest.
Oh, no. I'm just saying, at this point in time, don't do something that's going to really annoy people. And that's going to really annoy people. It's like, no. It doesn't sound like a fun show, but fair enough. Yeah, they got what they deserved and lost their position. No, not that there's many good Star Wars projects, to be fair, but I need to watch Andor, because I hear Andor is actually really good.
Andor is really good.
I hear, and it's really slow. It's like, you got to kind of slog through episodes 1, 2, and 3, and then you get into 4, and after 4, it's really good.
Basically, you have to treat each, because it's 12 episodes, you treat each of those 4 episodes their own mini movie.
Yeah.
In themselves, because they each form a nice, tight little arc that comes together to form this more complete story at the end. But yeah, if you get a chance, I do recommend you give Andor a go.
It's weird because I get why it did badly, because I saw Solo. I saw Rogue One. I didn't like Rogue One. I kind of felt it was pointless.
Did Andor do badly? I thought it did all right.
The TV show, it didn't do well.
Yeah.
It didn't do well. In terms of numbers, this is like when Star Wars is beginning to die, and it's really, really hitting hard how badly all of Disney's stuff is doing at the moment. But Andor, a lot of people didn't like it because they said it was boring, and it's also based on the character that just, what happens to him. Spoilers, he dies, so who cares? I'm going to watch it because I hear that just the show was good, and it would be nice to watch something Star Wars that isn't crap,
I mean, I'll be honest, I've enjoyed pretty much all the Star Wars stuff they've put out in recent years. It's not always been brilliant, but I've enjoyed it.
Ooh, okay.
I don't think anyone who's made it has been intending to make anything bad, and I'm generally quite positive about things.
Mm-hmm.
It's like with
you didn't like Book of Boba Fett, did you? Because that was atrocious.
I like bits of it.
Oh, it was atrocious.
I mean, I bought a Fennec Shand and a Black Chrysanthemum Black Series figure.
Oh, God, where she just gets shot in the stomach and just left... No, that was Mandalorian. When she was shot in the stomach and left to die, and then she was fine. Oh, I just got a robot bit in my tummy. What the fuck? Oh, it's so stupid.
Yeah, but Star Wars is inherently stupid.
No, it's not. It's not inherently... What's inherently stupid about Star Wars?
It has space wizards, Andy.
That doesn't mean it doesn't make sense and there's no logic to it. That doesn't mean it's stupid just because it has fantasy elements to it.
Thought midichlorians were a good idea.
That doesn't mean... That's a scientific explanation. It's not a very good scientific explanation. That's like me shooting off somebody's head and them going, well, I've got a robot head now, so I'm fine. That's bad. That's a really not good bit of writing.
Well...
It's like, you know what most people say is Star Wars is always stupid? and that's why you should let everything off. They usually use the example of, in A New Hope when the stormtrooper hits his head off the door and it wasn't meant to happen.
Yeah. Okay.
They usually use that as the example and say, "See, Star Wars is always silly because he hit his head on the door." It's like, no, stop it. No, it's not a good reason. That's really crappy reason to be like, well, all the Star Wars is just silly. Well, it feels like a really crap way to undercut your story by doing that. Like an excuse. So what else have I been up to? I watched that. In terms of things that I got, we can briefly talk about this because Hasbro did a little event for G.I. Joe, and they revealed some G.I. Joe figures. Yep.
Yeah.
Mostly ones I don't care about because most of them were G.I. Joes, and me, I don't care about Joes. They showed off. I'll need to look at the names because I don't know the Joes. There's Airborne.
Yep.
He looked kind of boring, but I think Airborne's always meant to be kind of boring because he's just
Airborne's always been boring.
Yeah, he's a parachuter. Is he a parachuter pilot?
Yeah, he was the first paratrooper.
Yeah, it's like, yeah. Okay. There's Quick Kick, who's really cool. I always think Quick Kick is neat.
Except he always seems to be the punching bag for Storm Shadow.
But yeah, because it's meant to be
his loss in life.
It's meant to be Snake Eyes that takes him out, not the man that promotes fudgy bars.
Yeah, Quick Kick is the guy who is basically their Worf surrogate. How do you make someone look badass? Beat up Worf. He makes someone look badass. Beat up Quick Kick.
Well, he's a movie star, so he's not a real ninja. He's a stuntman.
Yeah.
But the figure looks really good. He's really fun. I'll talk about the Cobra stuff later. And then there's a lot of retro stuff. So there's a redo of Recondo. All of the retro stuff people are going to be happy with who want decent versions of the Joes. Recondo, fine. The Tiger Force version, I think I like the colors more on him. It's Kurt Russell, just in different clothes. Cool.
Yeah, Tiger Force did have some nice colors, to be fair, overall.
I thought the Tiger Force version was a bit more interesting. But again, if you want classic Recondo, he's there.
You have an option.
The two more important ones are classic Duke and Scarlet. It means that you can bin the original versions of the classics figures, which a lot of people didn't like. A lot of people really didn't like them because it was more stylized. And I think the new versions of them look a lot better, in fairness. Especially the Scarlet. Scarlet looks way better. Yeah. Way better.
Yeah. I must admit, I've been awfully tempted by some of the various Snake Eyes I've seen over the last year or so that they've done.
The Desert Snake Eyes looks... The Desert one looks pretty deep. Yeah, it's not in ninja colors, cool. But...
And they've got the Alpha Commandos 2-pack with Timber as well.
Oh, yeah. Are there two Timber Wolves? There's
two. There's one version, I think, that comes with... I don't know if it comes with the Desert Snake Eyes, but there is a version that comes with one of the other Snake Eyes figures.
Is it an
as
Arctic
well as the Alpha Commandos.
Or something?
I don't think it's Arctic.
No? I don't know.
No,
I don't pay attention to, like I say, the Joes. So I was like,
neither do I, to be honest. But every time I see them, I think I'm so glad I don't collect G.I. Joe anymore because I'd be even more bankrupt than I already am.
Oh, I know. Tell me about it. Look, I mean, even just doing Cobra it can get you. And then they had 260th anniversary figures, and both of them are deluxe, so they're going to be more expensive. There's Action Soldier and Recon Diver. I guess these are based off the adventure original Big Boy Joes from back in the day.
That was the description I saw. They're based on the old adventure team.
They're just generic army man, but they've got some good stuff on them, accessory-wise. I mean, they are deluxes, so again, they're going to be like $10 dearer or something like that. Yeah. I like the standard Action Soldier just because he's got like a gun emplacement, 2 machine guns, backpack, a radio, pouches, a material cloth thing, which is kind of fun.
Yeah, I mean, both sets just come with so much kit, it's sort of unreal.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. It's not that I don't like the Diver, but there's a reason why I'm not getting the Cobra Eel. I don't like the Diver stuff. I think they always look kind of lame.
Yeah, Divers, it's always a tricky one to do, but that Trooper does just look superb.
Great. Good luck trying to get more than one of them, because he's going to sell out.
Yeah, and I do appreciate the fact that they've put in not just different skin-coloured heads, but for the Desert Trooper, they've given you different coloured hands as well for the fingerless gloves.
Yeah, they could have just cheaped out and had like full gloves so that you wouldn't need to worry about it. But yeah,
it's just a nice touch. I appreciate things like that because I'm all for as much representation as possible. So
yeah, I mean, I don't particularly care. It's a toy, but it's nice.
But
It's there.
It's nice
I guess.
for people who do have the option.
Sure. The two Cobra Fit things that were shown are a Techno Viper, which is another one of those, good luck trying to buy more than one of me because everyone's going to buy many, many hundreds. I think the Techno Viper's pretty cool. A little issue I have is I would prefer that the joint in the back of the legs was purple and just the kneecap was black, but, saving money and whatnot. He's got a goo gun. I don't really know what kind of gun he has, but it's kind of weird. And it's meant to be for powering his hydraulic tools. That's right.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
And he's also got a little hologram display which you can peg into his arm, and it shows his display, which I do really think is neat. I don't feel I super need the Techno Viper, but I'd be okay with getting one.
He's a Cobra Grunt. Everyone needs more Cobra Grunts.
The problem is getting them. Like, I can't get a Range Viper. I'd like a Range Viper. I can't get one. I'd like Mole Rat. I can't get Mole Rat.
I didn't say it was going to be easy. I just said everyone needs more Cobra Grunts.
It's such a pain to get more than one. And then the other one, who I don't know if I will get or not, is Big Boa. Who is the Cobra trainer.
Part of me worries that if you're doing a figure of Big Boa, are you starting to scrape the barrel ever so slightly?
I don't know, because there's still a lot of characters to do, but it's...
Well, that's what I mean. There's so many other characters they could have done as well, and they went with him.
He is a very unique figure. He's Stallone. He's just Stallone. That's what the head sculpt is for this guy. I think was Big Boa in the cartoon? I can't remember. They had trainers in it. I don't know if it was Boa.
I'm trying to remember what wave he was in, because was he... I think he may have been in the later seasons of the cartoon, to be fair. I think he was the same sort of...
You mean season 2, or do you mean the Dick series?
I'm trying to remember, because I think he came out the same wave as Falcon and the movie bunch.
Oh, he might be in the Dick series then.
Yeah.
If anywhere, which would make sense.
Yeah.
He's got boxing gloves and weights. I don't know if I really want Big Boa, but I might get him because he's weird.
Yeah, he's one of those oddballs.
Yeah, he's not one that I desperately, desperately want, though. They did announce as well that they've got some names for the next kind of reveals, which will be Nemesis and Forcer, who I won't buy because I don't need any of the Cobra La stuff.
No, that stuff still just weirds me the fuck out.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't like the design either. If they were just Cthulian monsters, I'd be more inclined, but it's a weird dude in like a spandex suit with big wings. I'm like, I'm all right. They've got, who are the other ones? Starduster?
Oh yeah, the rocket trooper.
Yeah, I'm like,
yeah,
it's a Joe, who cares?
Yeah.
The one I care about is Xandar.
Yeah,
so
glad to see them finishing off, adding more of the Dreadnoks.
Yeah, the Zartan's family will be done, as far as I'm aware. I kind of
wish... Have we done his daughter yet?
What's his daughter called? Because no, either way. They've done Zarana, who's his sister.
Zatanna is his daughter.
Oh, no, they haven't done her yet.
Yeah, they introduced her in the Image comic in the early 2000s.
Oh, that's why I don't know her. Yeah, that's why I don't know her. I'm actually, I would have preferred them instead of doing Xandar right now. I would have preferred them to do Torch, just so we could have had the main cartoon guys, Zartan, Torch, Ripper, and Buzzer. We got Buzzer and Ripper. I just need a guy with a flamethrower, please. Yeah, but that's fine.
Have they done Road Pig yet?
No, not yet. No, those two not yet.
Yeah, and they've not done Thrasher either.
Thrash is the guy who drives the Thunder Machine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they haven't done him yet either. It'd be interesting if they did a Thunder Machine.
Oh, do you think it might be next year's HasLab? Do you think for G.I. Joe? Do a Thunder Machine?
I don't think that would be a terrible idea. It's hard to say because there are a lot of vehicles which they haven't done yet, which they could do.
I mean, they've gone for pretty safe options because they've done for the Sky Striker and the Dragonfly.
And the Hiss Tank, obviously, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Thunder Machine's kind of like the next most iconic vehicle, isn't it?
The Hiss Tank? I don't know.
But we, we kind of deserve that sort of budget.
Yeah, it's hard to say because I would. What's the GI Joe set that has the jet that has the backwards wings and the shark face on it?
I think it's the X-23.
Is that what it's called?
I had one of those. I love me a foretold wing fighter. I
think that's more interesting than the standard jet that they had for the first season. That's a fun jet, but this has backwards wings and a shark face on. So it's, in my eyes, that's cooler. I can see them doing that.
Also, the pilot had a bitchin' mustache.
Did he? Oh, I could believe that. Yeah, why not? I'm not so... Yeah, sure.
Sorry, he just looked cool to me.
No, that's fine. Maybe they could do the Rattler, because they haven't done the Rattler yet.
That's true. I mean, there's the Rattler, there's the Tomahawk Chopper. That'd be an immense one for him to do. I mean, that'd be the size of the Ghost almost.
I think that would have to be priced same as a Jabba sail barge almost.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Ghost was what, $500?
I don't know. Probably.
It was something. It was an amount of money that was a lot, but you could understand being that much because of how freaking big it was.
It was less than Unicron.
Yes.
It's less than Unicron.
There's a lot of things that are less than Unicron.
Truth.
No, it's interesting. And like I said, I don't collect G.I. Joe anymore. He said, looking up to the heavens in thanks. But I like that they are doing some really nice stuff for them.
I will say this is not the time to get into G.I. Joe. I think if you wanted to get into G.I. Joe, you've kind of generally missed the boat. Yeah.
But I do, and I've seen a lot of people in that fandom kind of raise complaints, same in the Star Wars for Black series, but I do think Hasbro are probably putting out some of the nicest. They make missteps, don't get me wrong, and sometimes they do pick a sculpt to reuse that was already poor, and they're just kind of like doubling down on it. But when they get it right, they do get it really right.
The GI, in terms of like what Hasbro are producing, the GI Joe line are the best of their action figures, and it's weird that all their other action figure lines are not close to the standard of the Joe stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, a good example is the difference between a G.I. Joe classified figure and a Transformers Red Line figure. It's a massive huge drop in quality. It's really weird. But on the G.I.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, on the G.I. Joe train, I got my HasLab Hiss Tank this week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the Hiss, the 4 figures as well. The 2 Hiss drivers, one with a different color scheme, the female Hiss gunner, and Cobra Commander, the kind of more classic-y Cobra Commander. It's huge.
Is that
the
with
Hiss tank's huge.
Cobra Commander, is he in the faceplate or the cloth head?
It's the faceplate. I kind of wish that they did both because it was a premium item, but they just give him the one head. Yeah, the Hiss tank's really fucking big. Unsurprising, just because it's a 6-inch thing. So if you remember the size of like the 3 3/4 inch figure,
I had the original Hiss tank and the Hiss tank 2, so I remember how big they were for the 3 3/4 inch figures.
Yeah, so the figures are like double the size of those figures, so double the size of the Hiss tank, give or take. It's really big. It's to the point where I try taking photos of it in my little crappy diorama scene that I made. It doesn't fit. It covers it all up. Yeah. It's like I'm not one to care too much about lights, but the lights on this thing are really neat. It's got 8 light settings.
Oh wow!
It has driver cockpit lights. It has a Cobra insignia light, which beams a Cobra insignia down onto the floor, which is kind of fun.
Oh, that's cool.
It's got 3 sets of headlights. So you got small white ones, small red ones, and then big white ones. And it's also got lights, like reverse lights, And there's
Jeez.
also another set of lights. If you pull down the ramp in the back, so you can get access to the back. If you pull that down while the lights are turned on, light turns on inside there as well.
Crikey.
So it's like you press the button like 8 times and it cycles through the lights and whatnot. So it's really cool. It's neat. It's not.
That sounds it.
The issue I usually have with LEDs or lights in Transformers are, what do the lights do? They light up their eyes. Does it do anything else? No. That's it. It just lights up their eyes. And I think that's always kind of lame. This has an actual functioning feature. And the lights, when you have all of the front lights turned on, it's like a small car. When you turn your headlights on for a car, it's kind of like that. It actually does a really good job lighting up the quote unquote road ahead of it, which is quite fun.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
The treads move as well, which is quite cool. And it's got the extra bits, so you can add on the underslung guns, you can add the missiles onto the side, you can add a shield onto the front of the turret. And you can add 2 machine guns onto the side of that, and you've got interchangeable armor panels for the treads, just in case shifty stormtroopers try and be accurate for a change. And then you've got a choice between 2 canopies, one with the standard canopy where you open it just the single way, or there's the new canopy which has like a red rim around it where those bits open up like DeLorean car doors, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I decided to go for the standard one because if you want to get a figure in, you're going to have to open it up normally anyway.
Yeah.
My issue with the cockpit parts, the canopy windows, I guess you could call it, is that they aren't on like springs. They're hard plastic. So it feels like when you push it in, I don't really want to try and pull it out. Yeah. You could probably do it if you had a heat gun because it would soften up the joints, but...
So basically, it has exactly the same problem as the original His tank did.
Yeah, once you put in on that plastic cover, you don't want to pull it off. You could, but don't.
Yeah, I remember how with the original how that was like.
Yeah. It when you close it as well and you tab it down, it's tight in there. So I am a little bit concerned about opening it and closing it.
Yeah.
For the price, for the price it was. And the fact that, it comes with 4 figures, which is really cool. It does come with stickers, which I don't know who's going to want to be the guy or girl that adds any of those stickers to the His tank. Who wants to do that? That's too dangerous for a product
Some
this
madman's going to try it.
Is it worth like the £300 to buy it? No, probably not. If you take into consideration each of the figures, if we're talking about retail prices, about £25. So then the His tank is about £200. Is it worth £200? Considering the lights and the extra back of goal stuff, which maybe is about £50. Is it worth £250? No, £150. Maybe. Yeah. It's hard to say because it is so big. It's really big. I'm not sure if it's entirely worth the price, but I am glad I have it because I have seen.
I was going to say, but the most important thing is, are you happy with it?
Yeah, I always consider though the value that I'm getting and if I'm getting shafted, which I do think sometimes, like Unicron, I think people were getting fucked in the arse for. I think people got fucked.
Yeah.
I think they got bent over and rammed pretty heavily. £1,000 for that, woof. That wasn't worth it. No. So trying to I saw people online who clearly have more money than me who bought like 2 or 3 of these, and that would be, I think that's like £900. Which granted, it's still not one Unicron. that's 3 His tanks plus £100 before getting one Unicron. And I have seen people try to resell these for like double the price for like $600 or £600.
Yeah, but you're always going to get that.
Of course. I wonder how this will be secondary market wise, because I hear like Transformer stuff like Star Saber and stuff like that have like fallen off. They're not as valuable as they were when they originally came out. I think the His tank might, and this was another reason why I decided to get it, because it is the Cobra vehicle.
Yeah,
it is the iconic vehicle. I can see this sticking. It is,
like I say, it's an iconic vehicle. The Joe market is one that like you said, it's tough to get into now, but for collectors who are there are pretty hardcore.
Oh yeah.
I noticed even when I was younger and was after I sold off my old Joe collection for a ridiculously low sum. There are people out there who will pay a lot of money for G.I. Joe stuff, no matter what it is.
I still have like 3 3/4, which I want to get rid of, but I don't think they're valuable ones. They're like Vala versus Venom, unfortunately.
Mate, I had stuff from the original run. I had stuff from when it was still Battle Action Force, and I just got rid of all of it.
I could believe people would want those ones, to be fair. I think
but I sold it all for 150 quid. And I know now that I did the same for my Transformers. I know full well that both of those collections, I should have sold them for a lot more.
You got railed, yeah. You were very generous, let's say. Let's say you did it for a good cause.
Yeah. Yes. I was trying to make space, and I kind of wish I hadn't now. But when your family tell you to make space, and you make space, and they say, why do you still like it? You can make a fortune. I was like, well, make your minds up.
Yeah, choose. Which is it? Yeah.
So...
but the His Tank, very good. Orange in chat got his Deathsaurus. Just arrived apparently as I guess we were doing the show. So Orange, I hope you're enjoying your Deathsaurus. Big D, I hope when yours comes, not too far off. I hope it's good as well. Maybe I'll be able to find it cheaper.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Hopefully, I kind of hope.
I mean, that time of year is going to be a big one for me because I think I've got Deathsaurus coming that month, and a month or so after, I have my Battletech Mercenaries Kickstarter arriving, which, that was unfortunate amount of money I spent on that.
Oh.
I can't help it. I've gone really into Battletech.
I know you have. You have a lot of Battletech stuff.
Yeah.
A lot.
I see the boxes and it's like Roth Fiennes in Bruges. I know I shouldn't. Just one more.
One more.
I have so many urban mechs, it's not funny.
You can never have enough. Never.
I am the urban mech meme.
The last thing I got this week was it came in. I ordered this pretty late, but it actually came before the first thing I ordered was. I got the Jada Toys Street Fighter 2 Fei Long figure.
Ooh.
Jada Toys seem to be a fairly newish toy company. And I gotta say, they make a figure that's better quality than Hasbro's G.I. Joe line. They're showing Hasbro up. They're showing a lot of the toy companies up.
How much was the figure?
24.
You don't mind.
Same price as G.I. Joe. Yeah. Exactly the same price. So it's Fei Long.
Yeah.
He comes with 2 different heads. They're kind of similar. He has his standard kind of grimacing kind of face, and then a slightly open mouth. It's not what I would have preferred if he was doing the proper, like, Bruce Lee wah! Kind of face.
I was going to say, is he doing the full wah?
No, it's not. It's not quite that. I'm not sure if they were intending it to be that, but it misses the mark there. And he has.
That's a shame.
Yeah. He has 2 sets of hands. He has closed fists, and he has kind of I don't know, kind of almost kung fu hands is the best way. Like, they're not choppy hands, but they're kind of like, they look like they're in a fighting pose. You know how Bruce Lee would kind of,
like just open enough that he's gonna do something nasty to you, but not close enough that you can tell what he's gonna do.
Exactly, he's ready to do stuff. And he also comes with a big fire effect, which you just kind of slide over his leg like a trouser. For his, his special attack where he kind of spins in the air and does the fire. It's that. The figure is incredibly well articulated.
Yeah.
And if the quality of the figure is just really good, the only issue I have with mine is there's a clear difference in terms of like the head and the neck and the rest of the body kind of tone. It's not massive, but it is. I find it noticeable. I don't know if it's just mine.
Okay.
Because I look at pictures online and I wonder if it's like the photos that they've taken kind of doesn't make it as noticeable, or if it's just mine where it's just a bit more noticeable than theirs.
Is it a case of the neck's just not been painted?
No, because it's because the head has been painted. and the rest of the body
Okay.
hasn't for obvious reasons. So the head is just a different color from the rest of the skin tone.
Okay.
I think you only really notice it when you pick it up and you look closely at it. But like I say again, if you look at promo images or production or photos of them from like other people, it doesn't seem quite as noticeable. So I don't know if it's a mine or if it's a thing overall. He's got all the articulation points you would expect. He can do some really good hip movements. The G.I. Joe figures usually have a drop-down hip to allow them extra movement. Fei Long doesn't have a drop-down hip, and has better range of motion in his hips than Hasbro does, which is kind of embarrassing. He's got some really good butterfly joints again in his chest or for his shoulders, which I'll let Hasbro off because a lot of their figures that have the butterfly joints are restricted by like body armor. But with Fei Long, obviously, he's shirtless, so they just move really well together. He's just really fun and easy to pose. I highly recommend them because I liked Fei Long so much. I mean, I bought Ryu first, but he won't be arriving until January. And I went, oh, fuck it, I'll just buy Fei Long then. Why not?
Fair enough.
So I bought Fei Long and I went, looks like I'm buying Evil Ryu, the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. And I might as well get Chun-Li as well. There we go.
How many characters have they done so far?
That's it.
That's it so far. Well, that's not too bad.
They've basically shown what's coming out all of next year, though. So they've got wave 1 to... Sorry, this was wave 1. And then they've got waves 2 to 4 shown. And the wave 2 is going to be Ken, Dalsim, and Bison. Dalsim comes with, like... you can take his arms off and put on long arms. Stretchy arms, yeah. I don't know if he's got stretchy legs as well, but he's got 2 sets of stretchy arms. Is pretty cool. Ken is, a Ryu figure with a new head.
Yeah.
I don't know if he comes with any new accessories, but fine. And then there's Michael Bibson, who looks great. Wave after that they've shown is, I think it's Guile, Cammy, and DJ. And they've the new stuff that they've just recently shown at a con was Sagat, Vega, and who was the last one? Blanca. Now, Saga and Blanca are apparently going to be deluxe figures because they're big. Like Ryu comes is to scale with Sagat, so he comes up to basically Sagat's nipple, which is accurate.
Well, that's nice that they're actually taking that into account because not all companies do that,
No.
And it does mean that Zangief and T-Hawk are going to be absolutely huge.
Yeah, and Blanca's bigger as well. He's not as tall as Saga, but he's like wide.
He's got the mass.
Yeah. I saw some streams where they hadn't got Blanca posed in like the Blanca pose of like him hunched over. So proportionally, he looks a bit weird just standing up straight because obviously he's not meant to. He's got long monkey arms and whatnot. But the lines for the price and for the age of the company, it's amazingly good. And your only other option for Street Fighter figures are SH Figure Arts, which are like £80 each, give or take.
And honestly, I don't like to spend that much on any action figure.
Well, I would say a lot of them don't look good. Like I don't like the sculpts on a lot of those Street Fighter SH Figure Arts, to be honest. The better line, I think, in terms of how the sculpts look, are Storm Figure collectibles, but they are again really expensive as well.
Yeah,
these are £24 generally. So
for £24, it sounds like you're onto a winner there.
Yeah, you get a decent amount. Oh, I tell you what else is really nice. Sometimes the Joes are quite hard to pull the hands out. For changing. The hands are really smooth and nice to pop off of Fei Long and just swap around. I don't feel like anything's gonna break.
Yeah.
Which I can't say with G.I. Joe. The only issue I have with one of his hands is the joints kind of, I don't know what exactly has happened. I think maybe there's too much plastic around the joint, but it's frozen up on his fist. So I might just pop it in like boiling water and see if I can finagle it round, or I might have to knife it. At the very least, because it's just a fist. Generally, when you're doing fighting poses, you're not going to bend the wrist in and out.
Works.
Yeah, luckily the joints on the more kung fu styled hands that I mentioned, they're fine, and they're the ones that you'd want to be able to pose a little bit better. So I don't know how you find them in America world. In the UK, you've got eBay and you've got Amazon whenever they come into stock.
Yeah, I was going to say the only problem you've got with this range, Andy, is that they're doing 4 waves of figures next year. My
Over the year.
condolences.
It's fine. It's not all in one blob. I think they said they want to get Wave 2 out before Chinese New Year, so January, February time. And I think summertime.
They manage that. That's always a nightmarish time for any production.
I think they're pretty close because they're pretty much done. I think people are getting Ken figures at the moment.
Good luck to them.
I think they're putting Wave 3 into final tooling because I watched a podcast where I don't know if he's the guy who runs Jada Toys, but he's like clearly someone important, and he was mentioning like how close they are to just putting the next batch in because they're Cammy. I want Cammy. Cammy's my girl. Cammy's my character in the Street Fighter games.
Question: are these in the Street Fighter 2 costumes, or are these in the Street Fighter 6 outfits?
Oh, they're not 6. No, they're not 6. Interesting.
So I must admit, I do prefer Cammy's Street Fighter 6 look to pretty much all of her previous looks.
No. I like the classic Cammy. I don't like new Cammy. It doesn't look like Cammy to me. I want the beret. I want the weird leotard. I want the tiger stripe pattern on her legs. I think it looks more interesting. It looks like Cammy in 6 just looks like a random chick. You're not gonna like. She doesn't have an iconic look. Cammy in Street Fighter 2 and onwards looks like that. And you're like, that's Cammy. That's a guaranteed Cammy. So I'm really looking forward to getting her. Apparently, they say she's meant to be better than Chun-Li, and apparently, from reviews, Chun-Li's meant to be the best of Wave 1.
Wow.
Chun-Li's meant to be really... She looks like a really good figure. So I'm really looking forward to getting this line, just more of this. And I hope Jada Toys does more stuff. The only other stuff that Jada Toys are doing Mega Man, which I don't really care about, unfortunately. And they're also doing cereal mascots.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Kind of random.
Yeah, I think there's like a Chester Cheeto, who I know isn't like a cereal kind of guy, but I think they've got a figure of Chester Cheeto. But it's a weird, to be fair, no one else has a market for him. No one else has done a Chester Cheetah as far as I know.
I mean, I think there's reasons for that, but sure.
I don't know. It would be kind of fun to have a shelf of just... Can you imagine having like the Sugar Puff monster and Tony the Tiger action figures? That'd be kind of fun. I'd like that, especially Sugar Puff.
Yeah. That's just mad enough to be something that, I could see that working.
FIFA Sugar Puff monster. Hell yeah. Now, granted, I wouldn't really give a crap about Snap, Crackle, and Pop. I always thought they were kind of lame. Like, I didn't like their cereal, but Tony the Tiger and Sugar Puff monster were just cool. Oh, the Cocoa Puffs monkey. He'd be all right. I'd be all right with the Cocoa Puffs monkey. He was fine. Yeah. Simon Tang says, have you seen the action figure Ghost of Jacob Marley? I have seen the figure of Jacob Marley. Have you seen that, Big D?
I have not.
I can't remember what line it's from, but I remember it's on Toy Arc, and I thought it looked pretty neat.
Hang on.
It doesn't look like it's not a happy Jacob Marley, let's say. He's not looking like he has a great time. There it is. Figura Obscura, Jacob Marley.
Oh my.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, he don't look like a happy man.
Well, he shouldn't.
But for that much, crikey, that looks quite nice, actually.
I like all the accessories he comes with. He comes with a really cool safe. Then he has I wonder if the safe's attached to him. All the other boxes are attached to him for obvious reasons, but I wonder if the safe is.
I think it is. I think one of those chains does link up to it.
Yeah, it probably is. I like he's got keys for all of his locks, and there's the door knocker as well, which is really cool. It's not a figure I would want personally, but I think it's cool. You know what's better than Jacob Marley? Marley and Marley. Ooh, we're Marley and Marley. Ooh. Muppets Christmas Carol. It's just the best rendition of a Christmas story, if you ask me. It's my favorite.
What was it? I saw two things that made me chuckle about from Muppets in the last week. The first one was a description of Muppet Christmas Carol and Muppet Treasure Island.
Oh.
Muppet Christmas Carol is Michael Caine treating all of Muppets like everyone, like serious people.
Yes.
He's treating it dead straight.
Yeah, yeah.
Treasure Island is Tim Curry is acting like he's a Muppet.
I mean, those are pretty accurate descriptions, to be fair.
Yes, yeah. And the other one was in regard to Disney saying they don't know what to do for Muppets, and someone said, pick a book.
You do anything.
Just do a Muppet version of any piece of literature from the last 100 years.
Yeah, you can do
200 years.
The Muppets are
something.
The Muppets are so easy to do something for. You just need to not be dead inside. But the problem is Disney is dead inside, which is why they keep making soulless remakes of stuff and buying properties and ruining them.
But the other thing is that the Muppets, everything they've done for Muppets in the last years hasn't been bad per se. It's just been a bit lacking. If they just
the TV. Do you remember when they tried to relaunch the Muppet Show and it was more like The Office? That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
The two Muppet movies were trying. Okay.
Yeah, the Muppet movies were fun.
The first one was better than the second one, but it was still entertaining enough. And granted, it wasn't the Muppets, but the Dark Crystal TV series was really good. And then there were no more of that. To be fair, that was too expensive. Probably.
I was going to say that suffered from Farscape syndrome. That if you get a Jim Henson company to make anything, they're going to put all the money on the screen.
Yes. To be fair,
even the money you didn't give them.
To be fair, it looked like a fucking really good expensive show, and it was. I think the problem was it was a good expensive show. And it was Netflix that did that one, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Disney. Like if Disney hadn't been setting fire to so much of their money previously, they could have continued They could have done the Dark Crystal themselves and continued it.
Yeah.
After all the money they've been losing recently. XL Hedge says Goofy Marley is fantastic as well. Goofy Marley's he's good. I like Goofy Marley, but he can't beat the Marley brothers. He also says, heck, do a Muppet version of Pirates of the Caribbean movies. That'd be all. You know what I would like them to do? Because it's something that's not just straight from their recent catalog. The Three Musketeers. That could be quite good.
Oh yeah, that'd be
because that's a classic story, right?
Yeah, Muppet Three Musketeers,
and Disney has done the Three Musketeers before.
Yep,
long time ago.
Muppet Frankenstein.
That could be interesting. Yeah, there's a lot of things you could do. Well,
I say, don't just pick a literary work of fiction that is in the public domain and throw Muppets at it. Find one actor who's game enough to either be that stupid or that straight in the role.
I think you need I think it works best when they're really good, serious actors. I don't know who you choose in today's, because I'd like Charles Dance to do it. I think Charles Dance. I don't know if Charles Dance is too old now to do it. I think
he might be. I mean, I think he has done the Muppet Show in the past. Charles Dance. I'm sure I've seen him.
He must have been pretty young to have done the Muppet Show, because I assume you mean the 70s one, right?
I might be getting him confused with Jeremy Irons, to be fair.
I think Jeremy Irons has done it. I'm pretty sure I remember him doing it, but I don't know if Charles Dance has done it. I don't know.
Because remember, they did do that reboot of the Muppet Show in the late
2000s. Yeah, the Muppets Tonight. That was okay, but it wasn't great again. It's a shame. I think what's happened to the Muppets and oddly enough to Sesame Street over the years has been a real shame, because the Sesame Street now is really heavily Elmo. It's really pulled hard away from what it was.
Yeah, I have seen a lot of comments about that some of the people who have left Sesame Street, part of the reason they left was the over saturation of
Elmo. Yeah.
Wasn't
one of them Frank Oz as well?
Yes.
I thought it was Frank Oz I saw, and if you like Frank Oz is, I don't know if he is official, but to me he was like the number 2 guy.
Yeah, I mean he was there with Jim Henson back in the day, so he's pretty much, other than Henson's kids, he's kind of like the authority on the Muppets and whatnot.
Yeah,
to my mind.
That's weird. Man. I suppose this is a good time to wrap up the show, Big D.
I suppose so.
Yeah, thanks for joining me this week.
No worries, man. Thank you for having me on.
Where
Always
do
a pleasure.
people find you on the internet?
Well, if they look for the somewhat bedraggled cup-faced visage and the weird Welsh spelling of David, you'll find me. I'm on all the socials that way. I don't hide. Probably to the worst, but hey, if you're going to say something, at least put your name to it. I contribute to UKAnime.net as one of their resident mech heads and anime reviewers. And I contribute to our good friend Adam's Fluff and Hammer, both as his one of his book servitors and in running for Watchlong channel.
And you said you were sorting out what's going to be coming for the watch along in the future, right?
Yeah, well, Christmas and New Year, we want to try and do something a bit. I'm going to try and do a couple of special days potentially, nice long streams to give people a bit of something to tune into to decompress over the holiday period. Not sure yet what that's going to be. Got some ideas. In the new year, though, on the I think the 6th of January, we have a double bill of Dragon Slayer and Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves.
Ah. Honor Among Thieves wasn't too bad. It was okay.
No, it wasn't. I think it's pretty much as good as the D&D movie could possibly be.
I don't know. I thought for me it was like a 6 out of 10 movie. Like it's fine. It's all right.
Yeah, but
I kind of like the really shit 90s one a little more. But it was crap. It was really crap, but I think the reason I like it more is because it's aggressively crap, and it's Jeremy Irons being incredibly hammy, like really hammy. Yeah. And that's really fun. And it's got a guy with blue lipstick for some reason.
Julian Sands, wasn't it? No, Bruce Stern.
Well, the guy with the lipstick.
He's the bad guy from Passenger 57.
Was it? No way.
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah. No, neither do I. I only found out recently. We've read an interview with him.
Huh.
But go figure. But yeah, watch-alongs once a month on the Discord for Fluff and Hammer. If you're a part of the group, feel free to drop in.
Yeah.
If you want a bit of entertainment, because it's always random what we show.
We're doing a Fluff and Hammer episode on Tuesday at 8 o'clock UK time, unless things have changed, which if they have, I haven't been told about. So as of now, Sunday, the 10th, we should be doing the show on the 12th? Yeah, the 12th.
Oh, excellent.
But I don't, again, something could go horribly wrong. Who knows?
Something going horribly wrong with a Fluff and Hammer? That's scandalous.
Exactly.
Andy, it's scandalous to say.
I'm a bad boy for saying such things, but it could potentially happen. It'll be on if you wanted, it'll be on this channel, on Twitch and whatnot. If you want to come on by, I'm sure Big D might be there in chat, so you could talk to Big D in chat if you wanted.
More than likely, I am now available most evenings, earlier than I used to be. So I think I'll be there. Give me a chance to have a natter.
Nice. Is that everything where people can find you?
I believe so.
All right, you can find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube as Decayed Andy. We're on Corpse of Human Being. We're on Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, Moonbase 2 Transformers podcast for YouTube and whatnot. I want to say thank you to Tony K for doing a $1 membership. Very much appreciated, sir. Thank you very much. If you want to help out the show as well and whatnot, you can go over to patreon.com/moonbase2. And if you do $2 each month, you can get, hopefully extra shows, so you could just help support the show, which would be greatly appreciated. I do have an idea, if I can get Gruff and I have free time, to maybe talk about either the Life Foundation comics or Maximum Carnage or something like that at some point in the future. I just need to find the time and have... Fun. I need to have the time, and Gruff needs to have the time, and these things are not conducive, obviously. Well, but hopefully,
if you ever want to chat about comics at all, Andy, I'm always available.
I'll keep that in mind, sir. I'll keep that in mind.
Because I have read a stupid amount of Marvel and DC over the years.
Okay. I'll put that in my cap and smoke it. But until next week, everybody. To be honest, I'll be keeping my eye on the news. If there's not a lot of news, for the future days until Christmas, we might be skipping some weeks, dependent on news. But I'll keep you up to date on Twitter and on the Facebook page, etc., etc. So
that sounds fair, to be honest.
I'm throwing that out as a warning because again, we only had 4 stories this week, so.
But we still managed to make it last 2.5 hours.
Yes, well, that happens when you have more than one person. So, but until next week, everybody, potentially, we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.